What's up, Miami Dolphin fans? Welcome to the DolphinsTalk.com watch-along for Week 14, Miami Dolphins at Los Angeles Chargers. I'm Josh Katzker from the Same Old Dolphins Show. Joining me tonight is the boss, Mr. Dolphins Talk himself, Mike Oliva. Mike, how's it going?
Eating Skittles. I got 3 bottles of water next to me because I don't know. I'm just so nervous right now. This is the biggest game this organization's had in many, many years. And with everything that happened today, Cincinnati won, the Ravens won, the Bills won. We have to keep up here with the Joneses. And a loss tonight is unacceptable. Armstead's playing, for those of you who haven't heard. And we got to win this, Josh. This is big time, baby. We got to win.
It is a big-time game. In fact, my brother on our show, or actually, I don't think he said it on the show. He said it right after the show. He may be in the comments right now. If you're watching live on the Dolphins Talk YouTube channel, leave us a comment. Say hello. If you're watching live on the I Am a Miami Dolphin Fan Facebook page, say hi there as well. But the brain said to me, he thinks this might be the biggest Miami Dolphins regular season football game since like 2002. And I know that there have been a couple of games in recent years that if the Dolphins had won them, they were basically going to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. But, you know, those teams, if they had won, even if they had won those games last year at Tennessee, the year before at Buffalo, if the Dolphins had managed to win those games, those were not teams that were making deep runs into the playoffs. These were most likely one and done playoff teams. This is a team that if they can win this game tonight is in position to really do something in these playoffs and really make a run. Because as we saw last week in the 49ers game, and by now you've heard it talked about quite a bit, the Dolphins didn't lose that game because the 49ers beat them up. They lost that game because Tua had a really bad game and was missing wide open receivers. So that was a game that was there for the Dolphins to win. They just didn't execute. So, I mean, we have yet to see a team really shut down this Miami Dolphins offense. So that's kind of one of the things that we're really looking forward to seeing tonight is whether or not the Miami Dolphins can rebound, bounce back, and get this offense back on track in this game against the Chargers, a Chargers team that does not have a very good defense. So this is really one of those opportunities. The Dolphins should really put the smack down tonight if they are the team that we want to believe that they are.
This is a team that is as good as any other. You look around the NFL and, you know, the Vikings are what now, 10-2. The Eagles look great. They've only lost once. The Bills, they won. They didn't look great. You look at Cincinnati's got a handful of losses. Miami's just as good as any one of these teams, okay? This team has the capability of getting hot in January and February and making a run. But here's the deal. They got to win games like this because that's what they've got to prove. And taking off the homer glasses for a second, tonight's a big night for Tua because 2020 at the Bills, big game, loss. 2021 at the Tennessee Titans, big game, loss. Last week, San Francisco, big game, loss. December, January, he's got to come up big in one of these games and win one. He just does. Otherwise, the drumbeat of he ain't the guy is going to get louder, and it's going to be fair as well. Now we got the Chargers here. They're really beat up. They got a ton of injuries. Win this game on the road. Let's win this game on the road.
Absolutely. And it's one of the things that I talked about earlier this week on the Same Old Dolphin Show. And I put it out there on Twitter. By the way, give us a follow. I'm at Amplified to Rock on Twitter. Mike is at Dolphins Talk. And oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. We have a special guest doing a run-in early in the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron the Brain is in the house.
Got a run-in.
Look at this. He's doing a run-in early on in the evening. But as I mentioned earlier this week on the Same Old Dolphin Show, it's granted it's a small sample size, but Tua on the road in December and January has not been good. And for a quarterback who has been so good in the second half of games, particularly in the fourth quarters of games, he's a guy that's earned a reputation for having that clutch gene. But so far, when it comes to road games in December and January, he hasn't really performed to that same level. He's 2-3 in those games. The only wins that he has are against the beat up, COVID-riddled New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football when Ian Book was the quarterback. Yeah, and then the other game that he has that is a win was the game in Vegas where he was pulled at the end of the game and Ryan Fitzpatrick came in and won the game for the Dolphins. So
you got the Patriots game last year, but that was meaningless too because the game didn't matter.
Right. So I mean,
they're already eliminated.
There's just, he's got this reputation of not being this big baller on the road in important games in December and January. And if there was ever an opportunity for him to show that he can be the guy in a road game in December and January, it's this one. There's going to be a lot of Dolphin fans in the building. It's going to be a controlled environment weather-wise, and you're up against a team with a pretty lousy defense. So this is the time for Tua to really shine and put it all out there.
Brain, what say you?
Well, first off, glad to join you guys. I think, it's worth noting that, one of those wins that we just talked about in December with Tua was on a watch-along night. That game against Ian Book, that was a watch-along. So, maybe this is the good luck charm that Tua needs. But in all honesty, I think that is really just I think there's too much being made of it. Obviously, if Tua really has a bad game tonight, that is going to be a narrative, and it probably should be a little bit more warranted. But I don't think that you can read too much into, his first two seasons playing with a bad offense, playing with bad weapons, going up against teams that were better than him on the road, that were going up against good defenses. I think almost any young quarterback would struggle in those situations. Do we want to see Tua play better in those situations? Absolutely. And tonight is an opportunity for him to do that. So I think too much is being made of it. I think it's a talking point that, people are going to hammer on, and people are always going to be moving the goalposts on Tua until he wins a championship. That's just the way it goes with quarterbacks, especially in this market, because we're so starved to find a quarterback because of the bazillion quarterbacks that we've had go through here since Dan Marino, and we haven't, made a Super Bowl since '85. So we're just so starved to say this quarterback is the guy or this quarterback isn't the guy, and we're just going to keep moving the goalposts no matter what. If Tua has a great game today, everybody's going to say, well, he did it against the Chargers defense that was terrible. Let's see what he does next week against Buffalo. If he does it next week against Buffalo, everybody's going to say, okay, well, where's he going to fall? Where's he going to falter down the stretch? Is he going to falter, in a big game against New England on the road? Or what's he going to do in the playoffs? If he does it in the playoffs, but he gets to the Super Bowl and has a bad game, it's like, oh, he can't win the big. They're always going to move the goalpost to fit whatever narrative they want that fits their opinion of the quarterback. That's just the way this thing works. So I'm not really that concerned about it. I believe, based on everything that Tua has done this season, based on everything this offense has done this season, against a bad defense, this offense should have a good game today, and this offense should win. The main reason that I came on, I wanted to get my takes in. I wanted to get my take in early before this game starts, and obviously then I'll be jumping in probably between quarters or at halftime to kind of, share my takes. But
he's bobbing and weaving, folks.
I think the biggest storyline here, the only thing to kind of be takey about, to have a hot take on, is this whole Teron Armstead story, which if you listen to our show earlier this week in preview of this game, my thought is that the only way you play Teron Armstead is if you feel like this is a must-win game. And I don't believe that this is a must-win game. I think this is a big game. And I give Teron Armstead a ton of credit for wanting to play through this. And I hope that he plays through this and plays at a high level and doesn't aggravate his injury. But I believe that the Dolphins could lose this game and still be in position to make the playoffs. And if you really believe that your team is good enough to, all we got to do is we got to be healthy and in the playoffs and we've got a shot, well, then playing Teron Armstead in this game, if he gets hurt, if he aggravates that injury, you are actually reducing your chances of being full strength going down the final stretch of the season. I think this is a game that you should be able to win without Teron Armstead. That said, when you pay a guy that much money and he says that he's going to play through it, I understand it being extremely difficult to say, like, to sit him down and say, no, we're protecting you from yourself, especially after the way they played last week on offense. So hopefully he goes out there, he plays at a high level and does not aggravate his injury and prolong this injury. If it was me as a head coach, I probably keep Teron Armstead out.
Well, that may have been the case, but Teron Armstead is out there. He's in there. He's playing. And let's ultimately hope it's going to all be for the best. Dolphins are getting the ball first here as Cameron Dicker's about to kick off. Brain, we'll catch you a little bit later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Fins up, you guys.
Here we go.
Right,
go
let's
Dolphins.
go. This is a big game. Here we go. Kickoff is about to happen.
It is kickoff time. It's time for another Miami Dolphins football adventure, to borrow a phrase from legendary Miami Heat broadcaster Eric Reed. And here we go. And it's through the end zone. The Dolphins are going to start at their own 25 to get started. So I like seeing them on offense. I mentioned this to Mike in the pregame, but in my fantasy league that I'm in, my big fantasy football league, I need a combined 42 points from Tua and Jalen Waddle this evening to win myself a fantasy matchup and earn myself a first-round bye in the playoffs next week. So, I mean, I've got even more to cheer for than normal. As if the stakes weren't high enough already, I've also got fantasy football stakes involved. So here we go.
Implications abound. Implications
Here we go.
everywhere. First
so
play
let's
of the
get
game.
started.
Here we
Let's
go.
see how we do. And it's play
Tua under
action.
center.
Go figure. Oh, and he's going long.
Going for it again.
He actually broke it up.
No.
That's too bad. Okay. Well, I like the effort. I like the aggressiveness. If there's one thing I've seen from Mike McDaniel, he's always going to be aggressive. And I like this play call right at the beginning. Might as well test him right away. And it was actually pretty good coverage there from 32 on the Chargers.
And let's just
maybe a little hold there. Maybe a little PI.
Yeah, I'm okay with it not being called. That's football.
Maybe
let's be honest. The Chargers stink on defense. The Chargers are terrible on defense. You got to attack them.
Let's run at them.
And you want to get them on their heels. Well, we don't run the ball with this head coach.
No.
How he was a run game coordinator, I don't know.
And there's another the incomplete pass on the slant to Waddle. Waddle has shown a little bit of a habit of dropping the ball, which is not something that I like too much. It's a little worrisome for me.
I know.
But let's see. So now we got a 3rd and 10 right off the bat, which I don't like.
The offense last week was just out of sync, and it would be nice here to come out and just get some positive plays on top of positive plays on top of positive plays and sort of get some of that confidence back, get that momentum back. Because last week they didn't have it. So far this week, it's only a couple plays.
And there's another incomplete pass.
And there's another one. That
3 straight.
That one should have been made. That one should have been made right there.
Well, they're certainly not going to go for it here. You got to.
No, well, I mean, with this guy.
So I mean, I don't know. I got to take a look at that last play one more time. But the first two looks like the ball was right there. They just didn't execute, and maybe there's pretty good defense, but not the best start for the Dolphins offensively.
No, it's not. And I'm less worried about the offense. I'm more worried about the defense because I think Austin Eckler, Allen, and Williams are going to pose a lot of problems for our defense.
That's going to be the problem. How about that play?
Whoa, baby!
It's Elijah Campbell.
Put that on your highlight reel.
Oh, my goodness. He wrapped up DeAndre Carter immediately. Elijah Campbell. My goodness. I don't know what DeAndre Carter was trying to do. He was going to try to duck under Elijah Campbell here, but that did not work out. Hey, we mentioned on Same Old Dolphins that we also needed special teams. Special teams has probably been the unit that has been kind of quietly lagging behind the rest. So that's kind of a nice start on special teams. A nice punt from Morstead and a tackle. So let's see what this defense can do against this tough Chargers offense. Chargers offense that is at full strength for the first time for a long time. And they immediately get a first down. So I don't like that.
Look, this is a powerful offense. Here's the deal. And I know people like to say, oh, don't blame injuries. Okay. At a certain point, though, you just have to be realistic. This is an offense who, when they're healthy, it's got just as many weapons as any team in the league. They are a loaded offense. And right now, they got their big players out there on the field at wide receiver and at running back, there's going to be a handful to stop this offense because they can put up points. They can.
Yep, they sure
now,
can.
Their offensive line, oh, look at this, their first down. Their offensive line's a little weak, but they can put up points here. This is where I'm more worried about this Dolphins team right here.
That's 2 plays, 2 10-yard. Yeah. 2 plays, 2 10-yard gains. I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
I think this is the first time since maybe week 2 or 3 that the Chargers have had their full complement of offensive weapons. So yeah, this is that's but this defense is gonna have a handful. It's why I predicted that this was gonna be a shootout here. Oh, good.
All right,
I mean, Eckler is just a bull. I mean, it's a nice play. They had him wrapped up, and then he still ended up turning it around and almost made something.
Here's the other thing I saw. What was the stat? I spoke with a Chargers reporter this week. They've given up 4+ sacks in 3 straight games, so you can get to Herbert. Your offensive line's a mess right now. They don't have their one tackle, and I think the center is also out as well.
Yeah, Lindsley is out.
Oh, no.
Concussion protocol.
He's playing. He's in there.
He cleared. Okay.
How? Boy, that's how he cleared
Big
so
boost.
quick.
Get him. Get him.
And
again, in over pursuit, you miss him on the sack.
Okay, incomplete.
At least you got him to throw the incomplete pass. But that's the kind of pressure you got to generate on this guy.
That's it.
But you gotta land these sacks. You can't keep missing these.
That's the thing, and when it comes to like PFF and all these new metrics and all this new math and stuff, you hear stuff like pressure rate and all that good stuff. That's nice. At the end of the day, make a sack, make a play. I don't care what the pressure rate is. Get a sack and make a play.
Now you got a 3rd and 10.
Impacts games.
So let's get off the field here. They're bringing pressure.
Get off the field here.
Bringing the blitz, and they couldn't get him. He scrambled away.
Scrambled, incomplete. I think it's incomplete.
Nice play, defense. Let's see if we picked up what the flag is.
Flag. Oh, crap. I got a bad feeling about that.
Is it downfield? Is it a defensive holding?
Yeah, so I think so. Crap.
Yep, defensive holding. There
Got
you
off
go.
the field, and you give him a first down. Third first down of the
Can't do this. I was on Kohu. So this was one. Let's see. Where do they have Kohu lined up against? They have him lined up against Palmer here. Oh, geez, right off the line. Yep, that's the rookie. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's a little ticky-tack, but it's. I mean, they're gonna call that every time. So
they're gonna call that every time. It's a fair call.
So the Dolphins fail to get off the field on 3rd and 10 because of a bad penalty. But you got to be encouraged by the pressure they've generated the last couple of plays. They had some more here again. Oh, Jerome Baker with an over pursuit, and another 10 yards for Austin Eckler. He's just
this is a guy who could kill Miami tonight. I think he's in store for a huge game because Miami's linebackers. Look, we're all fans of the team. They're just not very good.
That's one of the weakest areas of this defense. Even with all of the injuries in the secondary, it's that linebacker core is still one of those
linebacker core is just, and someone like Austin Eckler can just eat us alive.
So that's just another big chunk play on this drive for the Chargers.
1st and 10.
There we go. Nice play.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Nice tackle behind the line. I like it. So what we're seeing is that there's thus far there's nothing up the middle for Eckler. So that's good. We want to keep.
But it seems like every play he's their first option. So they're thinking the same thing we're thinking. I mean, he's literally their first option almost every play. They know that we probably don't have a matchup for him. It's going to be tough for us to contain him. So they're going to throw it to him, run it with him. Every play he's their first option, which makes total sense. You ain't got to be Vince Lombardi to know what's going on here, folks.
To him here, and now they came back to him.
They're going to throw it to him. I mean, it's literally.
And he looks like he got a couple of yards. So you're going to have a 3rd and 8 here. Another opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd and long. Force a punt. Let's go, defense. Come on. It's going to be the Eckler show, apparently. I mean, Eckler comes off the field on 3rd down, so we're going to see.
They probably had to take him off the field just from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Every play's got the ball in his hands.
We're doing that loaded front look again.
The amoeba.
And here they come.
Here they come. Gonna take a shot.
Oh my God.
Oh, Mike, that's a hell of a play.
Williams.
That's a hell of a
Mike
play.
Williams. I mean, Howard had great coverage, and he just got beat by Mike Williams. Just made a hell of a play here.
You can't blame Howard for that. He's right there.
No, I mean, he's got great coverage.
Yep.
Turns around, he's looking at the ball, and Williams just made a great play to adjust back to the ball. It's a heck of a play.
And he secured it after a little bit of a bobble. Secured it, came down to the ground, both feet in bounds.
It's a heck of a play.
He had to come back this week. He's been out for the past month pretty much. He had to come back. Couldn't miss one more game, Mike Williams. What do we got going on here? Run.
This is Spiller. Oh, Joshua Kelly.
Nothing there. All right.
Yard.
There was 2nd and 9 coming up. Let's hold the field goal now. What you think for Miami? Let's hold them to 3. Really? I think we got somebody down here.
Is there somebody down?
Yeah, somebody's down. I see the water people out there.
Who is it? Oh, that's Roberts.
Roberts every week.
All right. Well, we've done a lot of bending on this drive because we know that this is
now it's about holding them to 3
defense. So we've done a lot of bending.
About holding them to 3.
It's time to not break. So Roberts is out. Duke Riley is in.
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Oh, it's nice. You got 3rd and short now.
So nobody bit on the play action there, but he had Allen. This is I think exactly what the Chargers would love to do. A nice time-consuming drive. This is like a 5-minute drive at this point. Down the field, slow, methodical.
I mean, they got the players to do this kind of drive. They got the players. So do you have 2 feet?
They sure do.
Oh, okay.
So here we go, 3rd and 4. Let's stop the drive, force them to a field goal here, Miami. Come on. Let's go defense. Again, the loaded front.
That a Vince Lombardi reference.
And of course,
shows grandson.
They do the quick out to, like, I hate this 3rd down call from Boyer by doing the loaded front. And, like, I know he's trying to do this weird amoeba thing where he's bringing everybody to the front line and then some people are going to drop back. But what happens every single time, especially in a 3rd and 5, this far down, obviously he's going to hit somebody real quick like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a quick screen to Gerald Everett, your tight end, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I really don't like that defensive look from Boyer here. And he's done it on 3rd down a couple of times. One thing on a 3rd and 10, but on a 3rd and medium like that, I don't love it.
No. Makes it too easy.
And here
Austin
we go.
Eckler back in the game.
You stop.
Pretty much no game. All right. 2nd and goal.
Yeah.
Gotta hold them. Now, here's the thing. Even if they get to 4th down, they're so close, he might not even kick a field goal because this guy's nuts, his coach. Our coach is crazy. This guy's nuts. So this might be 4 down territory.
7-minute drive here. So this is exactly what the Chargers want. Keep the Dolphins offense off the field.
That's what San Francisco did last week. They just controlled the tempo. They pushed us around, and they just made easy play after easy play. And I'm sitting there reading last week, people saying, it wasn't really Miami's defense. Miami's defense got pushed around last week, and so far in the first quarter, they're getting pushed around again.
Yep.
Get off the field. It's not that tough. Don't make excuses for them, people. They got to get off the field.
Make this tackle. There you go, Duke.
There we go.
Oh, that's Van Ginkel. That's your boy.
My boy, AVG.
I see the 4, and I see 2 digits with a 4 and long hair, and I immediately think Duke Riley. So, okay, now it's 3rd and goal. Let's go. Stop him again.
3rd and goal.
I don't mind giving up an 8-minute drive if it only ends in a field goal.
I don't think this guy's kicking a field goal. I got a hunch he's going for it. This guy's crazy. He's a crazy coach. He's inside. He probably figures I'm inside the 10. Even if I don't get it, I'm going to pin him back deep. So
keep an eye on Eckler here. Oh, they're going to call it. They're going to get this play off.
Now they're bringing in some extra help. Come.
The screen.
In there.
He didn't get in.
Oh, they got 3 guys here. Somebody should tackle him.
Nice play. That's good tackling. So he got down to the 2.
There's no way he's kicking a field goal. I bet my life he's not kicking a field goal.
Let's see. He's going for it.
Of course he is. This guy's crazy.
4th and goal at the 2.
This is why you're 6.
Let's go, defense. This is it.
This is why you're 6 and 6. Just take points sometimes. First quarter. Vince Lombardi's son. What you going to dial up? Not his son, his grandson. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
This is big play. This is big play in the first
big.
quarter.
This is huge,
This is
Miami.
huge.
Let's go defense. Come on, make a stop.
Make a stop. We're playing that air horn sound. I'll tell you right now. Oh,
He's done got it.
Man to man, make a tackle. Make a tackle. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's a bad pass. That is a bad pass from Justin Herbert. That is
defense.
Justin Herbert coming up small in the big moment. This is a bad pass. Throws it behind him. You got to lead your guy. You got to lead your receiver there, Justin Herbert. He throws it behind him, allows Kader Kohou to come up, make the big stop, and boom, just like that, it's an 8-minute drive for the LA Chargers. It ends with nothing. Mike, hit the music.
Stop. 10 Miami. Here we go, baby.
We love to see the defense.
Okay. Now we got the ball back. Now look. Mike McDaniel, you're a smart man. You went to Yale.
Oh, we got it looping.
I got to loop it.
Turn that off.
Might have to control. Yeah. Just run
It's
the
up.
ball.
There we go.
Come out. We need to stack positive plays on offense so we get back in the rhythm we had in the first half against Houston a few weeks back. Do not throw it every stinking play. Let's get into 2nd and 6, 3rd and short, and put your quarterback in an advantageous situation. We just can't drop back and throw it every play. That's what's scaring me about this guy. Everyone's saying we found our next head coach. I hope we did. I don't know yet. And I see stuff like this. It's like, just run the ball once in a while. It's not that tough.
Sometimes it's all you got to do. Sometimes
just put
it's
your
all
offense in an advantageous situation.
This team can't stop the defense.
Stinks. It can't stop anybody. But if you're going to drop back every play, they're going to look like the 85 Bears eventually. At some point, it's not going to be that tough to freaking defend Miami.
Yeah, it's coaching malpractice if they don't run the ball a little bit here. I'm not saying you need to run it necessarily every down.
No,
you got to run the ball.
You got to do a little.
You can't stop the run.
They stink. There's a reason they're 6 and 6 and they have a terrible defense.
So we got a break. Dolphins catch a break there from the bad pass from Herbert to Palmer. Allows Kader Kohou to come up, make that stop. Big stop. So now let's go ahead and take momentum. The thing is, this is where Mike McDaniel is going to come in and try to immediately put his foot on the throat. But on the other side of the coin, you got the ball at your own 2-yard line. Run the ball, get yourself some room, and then go for your big shot. You don't need to do it right away. You don't need to hit a 98-yard touchdown
situation here. Get into a 3rd and short.
To breathe. So, all right. Well, hey, I was a little worried there for a while there, but we got to get this defense clicking. Or this.
I knew he wouldn't kick a field goal. I knew he wouldn't kick a field goal.
Oh, in the pistol formation. There's a run.
Well, there's a run play.
Got
all right.
A yard. Mostert for a yard. Okay. Well, they ran the ball. So that's it. Now they're going to throw.
Exactly. Okay, I tried. We got to get a few yards here because we're in a punt type territory.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to, at this point, obviously you want to go down, you want to score some points, but
exactly.
Field would be,
got to flip the field at least.
A little victory.
1 or 2 first downs would be nice.
Another incomplete pass.
That's a drop too.
That was on Hill, and I saw the stat this week, something about the fact that he had only dropped 3 passes this season. That might have been a nice play by defenders all over. No, that's a drop. Tyreek's got to make that catch. I mean, the guy's all over him. The guy's right there, but you got to make the catch. Come on. 2 weeks in a row so far where this offense has just been out of sorts.
It's just
you got guys not making the plays that they typically make. I mean, that's a catch that Tyreek makes 10 times out of 10, and he drops.
Get a first down here. Come on, 3rd and 9.
Now you need to get 9 yards, thrown out of your own end zone.
Attack.
Look out,
Wilson on the field. Holy cow! Somebody found Cedric
Wilson. We go. That's a first down. That's better.
That's a first down.
That's better. Okay, now we've got one. Now let's take a deep breath and let's get it together here. So we got Sherfield and Cedric Wilson in the bunch there with Tyreek. And that's that thing where that speed is going to give you the space. When you need 9 yards, you can easily just run to the sticks and get it. So I like that by Tyreek. I like that he's got it there. So now we've got a
Tyreek Hill
first
today
down.
walked into the stadium with his shoes inside of some glass box or
Yep.
something. So it
Saw
was
that.
quite funny. Yeah.
Oh, it looked like he was
It
trying
looks
to.
like they're still in the glass box on that one. Oh, Jesus.
I don't even think those are the shoes he's wearing.
No, probably not. Well, he might have put tape over them.
So, yeah, it's never good when the broadcast is introducing the defensive players on their second possession.
It means the first possession they got off the field quick.
Yeah. I guess it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not
No, I know.
never good because I mean I guess that happened in San Francisco last week too.
It's true.
That was because the Dolphins scored a touchdown on the first play.
Or a touchdown.
All right,
Let's get
offense,
first
get
down
it
here.
together.
Second
here.
and 10.
Has not been a very good start from the offense here. Here's
No,
a run,
it hasn't.
but
Nothing. Nothing.
maybe a half yard.
Maybe a yard. 3rd and 9 again. Back in 3rd and 9. Same as last time.
So Hill, he did it. They did it. He did pass Clayton for all-time most single-season receiving yards in Dolphins history. He passed 84 Mark Clayton, who had 1389. He now has 1392. It wouldn't surprise me if Waddle ended up closing in on that too, although Waddle is going to take him all 17 games to do it.
Yes.
The fact of the matter
He's
is
not 100. He's not 100% either.
I'll start all over the place. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Could have called on 104 people, which means it's probably on the center. It just didn't snap on the right count.
Everybody but the center, which means it was the center's fault.
Exactly.
So this is this has been a brutal start again for the offense.
This offense is just
2 straight
something's
games.
out of sync.
It's been a bad start.
Going well. We got 3rd and 15 roughly.
Yeah.
It's not.
So they'll be aggressive here, I'm sure. That's all they do.
Which is fine, but
here we go. Oh
boy! Oh boy!
Jeez.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue jerseys, 1 white one.
She's locked in on Tyreek there.
He got away with one. And Waddle, I know he's been on the field. I don't know. He must not be. Either he's not getting open or he's not on the field every play. And he must not be.
Was trying to feather that one in between 3 and 4 guys, and it just didn't make it.
That's a poor decision, honestly.
All right, need a big boot here from Morstead. Flip
Let's go,
this
Mr.
field
Morstead.
around.
Big leg. There we go.
It's a good kick.
Good. It's a very good kick.
Fair catch.
Fair catch is this one. He ain't going to make the same mistake twice. But look at the field position they got. Good Lord.
Yeah. So it has been we're going to call it a poor start from this offense. This is 2 straight games. So
thank God for Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
On 4th down. Otherwise, we'd be losing right now. We have to eat more Skittles this year, so I'm getting nervous. See the brain.
Yeah. So I'm just got a message from a potential guest who may be having a little bit of a delay getting them in this evening. So we'll see what happens. Keeping an eye on that situation. But yeah. Oh, we got the brain back in here.
We got the brain back.
Brain. What's going on, buddy?
Boy, just as we expected, just pound the under, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, take that under.
Defensive struggle.
Listen, Brain, this is 2 games in a row where the offense has been out of sorts.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to the Chargers. They've been playing pretty tight defense on these receivers.
Well, I think on the first possession, defender makes a good play on the first down pass. The second down pass, the coverage was tight. The defender was there, but I think Waddle's got to make that catch.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a theme. That's a theme that's developed over the course of the season is Waddle does have a tendency to drop those passes sometimes.
you get to 3rd and long, and 3rd and long is not where you want to be. Now, you say, well, you got to run the football. So they ran the ball a couple of times on that possession, not very successfully. I still think, look, at the end of the day, you're not going to be running the ball on. I don't think it behooves you to run the ball very much on 1st down. I think you got to go with what, the strength of your team is. I just think maybe you need to get some higher percentage passing plays out there early.
I agree.
Quick passes like the Chargers are implementing when they've got the ball. Get yourself, like, if you get 4 yards on 1st down, that's fine. You don't need to be throwing 10, 11 yards every single time you drop back to pass. Let's get into a little bit of a rhythm, and let's keep them off balance a little bit, and then you can work in the running game. But I think we're playing into their hands if we decide, like, oh, we have to run the ball on 1st down just for the sake of running it. So I don't really hate the play calling. I just think we need to be a little bit more sharp, and I think maybe some higher percentage passing plays.
First down Chargers.
And here's another big Chargers play on 1st down. So, they're executing the quick passing game pretty well here, where we're struggling with it. They're doing all right. And again, we're showing the inability to get home on the quarterback. So we're bringing a lot of guys in, just not getting there. So here we go. Chargers again, right back into Dolphins territory. Feels like they've been here the entire game. I mean, it's only been 13 minutes, but hey, here we are. It looks like the Dolphins have a little bit of confusion defensively as to where the assignments are here. And they've missed the running backfield.
Oh boy.
Goodness. Good recovery there from Eric Rowe, but yeah.
See, they're living
can't afford to miss too many
2nd and short, 3rd and short. They're making it easy for the quarterback. What happened to the brain? We lose him?
Oh, and he's gone. He's removed himself from the stream here. So we're back to, I think I don't know. Maybe he
might be ahead of us or behind us.
Might be a little bit ahead of us. So we've pulled him out for a minute. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's the one thing about doing this on the internet. We're watching it on a little bit of a delay because we're watching it on a stream so we can be synced up together. And then you're watching us on a stream, so we're delayed even more. So we appreciate it if you've paused your TV so that you could be synced up with us. We appreciate that. If not, either way, as long as you're listening, you're watching with us, we appreciate you being here. Again, thank you so much for supporting us over the course of the season. It's been a lot of fun so far, and hopefully it continues to be fun tonight and for at least 5 more games after tonight. Hopefully even more than that. Big 3rd down here.
Christian Wilkins having a good game so far. He is in on a lot of plays.
Put him in the Pro Bowl. That's
3rd and 5.
Oh, but he's wide open. And he made the catch.
Got both
Unbelievable.
Feet in. Christian Wilkins is in on a lot of plays.
But it seems like every single thing is coming off right now for the Chargers. I mean, he's
I don't know if he had both feet in. You have both feet in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Did he?
I don't think so. Throw that red flag, Mike.
I don't think that 2nd foot hit the ground. Challenge. Whoa. Here's 1. Doesn't touch the ground. Does not touch the ground. Throw the challenge flag, McDaniel. That foot doesn't touch the ground.
It's a worthwhile one because
there it is.
You stop him here.
Challenge. Yeah, because it's 4th down.
Yeah.
It's 4th down. So here we go. We'll take a look at this. There go to commercial while he goes to review this.
And plus, you're pretty much at the end of the 1st quarter, so you can go in the 2nd quarter with only 2 timeouts if you were to lose. Which
it does not look like that foot ever touches the ground.
I don't think so either, but I don't trust the referees, so who the hell knows what they're going to call?
Yeah, this is one of those things where they called it a catch on the field, and there's not indisputable evidence.
Exactly.
But it's one of those turf fields that if your foot touches the ground, the little
pops up.
The little rubber balls come up, and I don't see any there. So to me, this is an incomplete pass. I like the challenge. It's a good challenge. Who knows whether or not we're going to get the call here. What do you think on the what does the internet think of this?
Hey, we got Nick Stanton with us in the chat. Nick was one of our 2 military contest winners. He says it's not a catch, and he was honored at the game against Houston, the last home game, on the field with him and his wife and some friends. They gave him a ball, a big check. He got some money. from the Dolphins, one of the 2 military contest winners we have here at Dolphins Talk. What's up, Nick?
That's right. Thank you for your service, Nick. And thank you for this correct take.
I hope you're right, Nick. I agree it's no catch, but I don't trust these refs.
This guy says it's a catch. I love it. Look at this. John says, no catch. I have my good glasses on. I love that one.
That's a good one, John.
But this is my fear right here. It's like Phil
That's
says,
my
too
fear
close
too.
to overturn. That's my fear. So let's see.
It's going to be close.
I'm just taking a look to see if anything has come up on the old Twitter machine with any challenge ruling call stands, says Hal Habib. So there you go.
Well,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
It was one of those where it's
worth
so
it,
close and you're not going to get it.
I'm okay with that.
So call stands. So I think it's crap, but
that's the end of the quarter too, I think. You're going to wind the clock.
Well, he went out of bounds, so they've put time on the clock here.
1. Oh, he did. That's a good call.
Oh, he did. He did get 2 feet in on that view. Look at that. Well, that's a cheese, Louise. So this is awful. This sucks. Unbelievable.
Well,
like what a I mean, just barely. There it is.
NBC had to zoom in at
it's a great shot. But that's why they have all of these cameras here, and that's what happens. So come on, defense, make a play.
Get him.
Holland in there for the sack. Pick it off.
Duck.
All right. I like Melvin Ingram getting the pressure. Javon Holland getting pressure. I like it. That's good.
I'm going to get to him eventually. I know that. I don't know when. Hopefully soon.
We're getting there. We're getting close.
Getting close. Chubb, and I'll say this. That Chubb trade, I had some reservations. Now, so far, what he's done in Miami, I'm very impressed. He's in the backfield a lot.
Yeah, he certainly adds something.
Oh, Herbert's holding the ball too long. Herbert's holding the ball too long. There we go. There we go.
Wilkins.
He is a man.
Send him to the Pro Bowl. Put him on the plane to Honolulu, baby. Let's go, Christian.
His agent's going to be calling Chris Greer soon.
That's right. That man is earning himself a paycheck coming up.
End of the first quarter. Why don't we have everyone in the chat? We got a good group here tonight. Everyone in the chat, tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're watching live, whether it's on the I'm a Miami Dolphin fan Facebook page, whether it's from YouTube, tell us where you are watching from. And we're also
in the town and city. In the town and city you're watching from too.
Yeah, town and city. Let us know.
Because I know it's late overseas, but so I want to say hi to our friends in the UK. What's going on, people in the UK who are up late with us?
St. Petersburg is in the house. Vegas is in the house. Connecticut is in the house.
Connecticut, Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter.
Palm Beach Gardens. Brain and I, our parents, have just bought a house in Boynton Beach.
Oh, there you go. We got somebody from Kentucky here. Palm Bay, Florida, Kentucky, Illinois, Tampa.
Looking good. Looking good. We got a lot of representation.
South Carolina.
Who's going to win the award for watching from furthest away?
That's what I'm waiting for. Tom Rivers.
Tom's River, New Jersey, so far in the lead here early on.
Spring Hill, Jacksonville.
Oh, New Brunswick.
Canada. We got a Canadian. Rochester, our neck of the woods.
Right down the road. All right, we got a lot of good representation. Got Finn fans all over the place. Dolphin fans travel well. Is there anybody watching the stream from inside the stadium? Is there anybody watching the watch along from inside? If you're at SoFi Stadium, you win a prize. George is in the
If
house.
you're watching from inside the stadium, send us a message. We will put you on this live stream.
Let's go.
What do you guys think of this defense so far?
It's exactly what it has been for most of the season. It struggles to get home most of the time.
England. We got an England person.
There we go.
Nathan.
England is in the house. Yeah, the defense has been a mess. The defense has been, I mean, it's done enough so far, but it's I don't like the loaded front look that the Dolphins have executed several times in this game, and then that the Chargers have taken advantage of. It's giving them room underneath to execute very quickly, and the Dolphins have not shown an ability to hold them to only that when that happens. So
it looks like too much man coverage. Like we're putting a lot of undue pressure on our linebackers, trying to have our linebackers in coverage, trying to bring pressure and just force everybody to man up against a Chargers team that has a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
We went out and we got Bradley Chubb so we can rush 4 and get home with a 4-man rush and be able to drop 7 in coverage. And I'm not really seeing Bradley Chubb make much of an impact.
Yeah, I mean, he's helping with the pressure, but yes, I agree with that point in general. And it looks like the Dolphins are holding the Chargers to a field goal attempt here. So, hey, again,
I mean, it's only 3-0, and we played terrible. It's only 3-0. We played terrible.
It's been a pretty bad first quarter from the Miami Dolphins offensively. It has not been great defensively, but if you come out of this and you're down 3-0, it could be a lot worse. So here comes Dicker the kicker for the Chargers, and it's 3-0 for our British friend. It's 3-0 currently to the Chargers. So, okay, so maybe now the offense can get it together.
Just stack some positive plays on top of each other. I know they like to attack down the field. Get some positive plays. Get in a rhythm.
I did not think I was going to be done with my first beer before the Dolphins scored their first touchdown of the night. So that's disappointing.
Oh, I might be down at halftime. I might be switching from water to beer if this keeps going poorly here. Now, I want to ask you guys something. John Stamos said this line. We have stunk on toast, Mike. And I've been saying this line whenever a player or a team thinks we stink on toast. I got a paragraph sent to me from a listener saying he despises the line, we stink on toast. Not we, if I'm talking about a player, not even the Dolphins. It could be another team, like the Jets, they stunk on toast. He really doesn't like that line.
Doesn't like the phrase?
Doesn't like the phrase. He thinks I'm being mean when I talk about it in regards to a player. And my response would be, well, some players stink on toast. They just can't do any good.
Yeah.
I mean,
toast goes with a lot of things.
Stink on toast, but not stink on other things? Like, is there something particular about the toast that makes you stink more?
He thinks, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but his thing was that if someone makes it to the NFL, they don't stink in general. And I agree. It's,
God, of course.
Well, it's like, we can't be that literal. And one, and two, it's like, I'm just having fun here, folks.
Relatively speaking,
yeah, exactly.
To his peers, this player stinks on toast.
Toast.
Yes, I'm sure Nathan Peterman could throw a football further than I could ever dream of.
Exactly.
But he stinks. He is a bad NFL football player. What
Jesse
is
Davis.
This?
I'm sure he's a nice person, graphics? Jesse Davis. I don't know.
What are we doing here, NBC? Dear God.
That's why I like my 1 o'clock on Sunday games. Don't ever mess with 1 o'clock on Sunday. The best time for an NFL game.
All right, enough screwing around here. Let's go to let's get this offense on track here, Miami. Come on. Here's a run.
I'm like 2 seconds behind you guys, so I'll hop back on in the commercial break.
All right, sounds good. Well, another run on first down that results in nothing. So it's just, it is as bad.
Offense is just. Here's what happened. Their first half against Houston was so friggin' good that ever since he didn't pull everyone, but he pulled a lot of guys at halftime in that game. We've been off kilter since. It's like they were so good against Houston in the first half, where it was a perfect half of offensive football that they haven't come close to that since. There we go. Another shot down the field.
Here we go.
Now, nobody even knew where the ball was.
Again. He just completely missed him. It's like they weren't on the same page. I don't know what is going on. Something is up with this offense right now where there are some communication issues going on. I don't know if Tua just missed this pass so badly, but Hill is open here.
He's wide open. I don't even.
What is he looking for?
I don't think Hill found the ball. Did Hill
just not see the ball?
I don't think he saw the ball.
Oh, man. Like, I don't understand. I mean, that was a perfect play. Otherwise, this is just that.
Hey, this is 6.
Can't believe this.
We are going on right now 6 really bad quarters of offense. Like, really bad. 3rd and 13. Oh, boy. So much for this. Punt. Okay. Don't want to hit the alarm bell here, but we're in the 2nd quarter of a game with a team that is terrible on defense.
Van Noy, of course.
Whatever. I mean, it was a sack. He made a nice play. This team stinks on defense, and we can't move the ball. I mean, we cannot move the ball. This is going on 6 quarters now where we can't move the ball outside of a play here or a play there. Let's be honest. We made 2 offensive plays last week versus San Francisco. Outside of those 2 offensive plays, everything else was just like watch a paint dry. And so far tonight, we've done literally nothing. We've
made one play today.
We had 1 play.
And here we go. And here's the big return.
And they're going to start on the plus side of the field again. Or pretty much near midfield, past midfield, whatever you want to say. I mean, we're making Justin Herbert's life very easy tonight.
So we talk about the fact that there is this problem with the Dolphins and that the Dolphins historically have this way of even when their team has been really good, they have this problem where they wilt in December.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this team is wilting right now and that this is another vintage same old Dolphins kind of performance. But through the first quarter plus of this game and all of last week in San Francisco, I'm starting to get a little concerned here. I'm starting to get a little concerned about this team, and it's not great. It's not great. I was sitting here thinking the Dolphins were going to put up a 50 burger tonight, and they don't look at this point like they're going to score 20 points. They got to get something figured out because right now it's bad. And
it's bad. Can't run the ball again, even if you want to.
And again, I mean, give the Chargers some credit. I mean, obviously they sacked Tua on that last play, and they've had some good coverage, but largely, again, it's been execution and the Dolphins failing to do it. Like Tyreek losing the ball in the lights or whatever, Tyreek not making a catch, Waddle not making a catch, can't open up space to run the ball. It's a little bit concerning. So Mike McDaniel, our genius coach, needs to come up with something to turn this around because this is an alarmingly bad start to the game. Obviously, there's a lot of time. You're only down 3 points, so it's not time to like jump on panic stations if you're on the field. But as a fan sitting here watching this, I'm starting to get a little worried about what this team is doing because they don't look right. They look out of sorts, and it's problematic.
Here's stat line for you. Justin Herbert, 12 of 14, 105 yards. Tua, 2 of 8, 13 yards.
Well, you know what the perfect result would be? Herbert puts up all the numbers, and then at the end of the night, Tua gets the win.
Yeah, I know.
Tua gets the win with 175 yards passing. But
that's fine, but
I mean, I'll take that.
175 yards passing. It also means that you're running the ball a little bit, and you're also getting yards on the ground. We're not getting yards on the ground or in the air. We're not getting anything. Offense just isn't moving. And gonna have to pick it up here soon. Really will. I mean, on brand.
I mean, I don't know. They certainly, this offense has taken a couple of big steps backwards over the past couple of weeks. So
look at this graphic. 12 plays, 5 yards.
That's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Here's Christian Wilkins again.
Okay. Gave up, 5 yards, 6 yards there?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, man, it's like the whole thing is this offense needs to be so good that you can give yourself big. Look at all the aqua in the stands at this stadium. It's unbelievable.
Well, nobody in LA cares about the Chargers.
Yeah,
That's
the
a Rams
Chargers are
town.
definitely the B team in LA.
Yes,
but
and it's not even close.
man, Herbert having himself a little ball game here so far. But let's get it going, Dolphins. Let's slow them down. Defense is just generating pressure. We just got to get home.
Here's a question for you: as
That's
they
another first
drive,
down.
as they're
Another first down.
inside the 35-yard line now, if Miami falls down by 10, you have any confidence they can have a comeback? And I mean, I'm being serious because they have a hard enough time moving the ball, and they really haven't slowed down the Chargers at all. If the coach would have took the points on the first drive, he'd be up 6. And they're not going to stop them on this drive. It looks like they're just letting them move the ball. Well, if they get down by 10, I don't want to say it's over, but that's a steep hill to climb right now with what we've seen. That's a steep hill to climb.
Yeah.
Here's another big chunk
run for Josh
chunk
Kelly.
play.
Look at this.
Now they're near the 10.
Yeah.
Chargers got all the momentum. All the momentum.
They're just this is not
pushing
great.
around the Dolphins defense. It will.
I mean, this looks a lot like last week. Oh man. X coming in, getting bossed by an offensive lineman like you would expect, but man, so now they got 1st and 10 at the 11 or 12. Let's hold them again. See if you can hold them to another field goal here. This has been such a poor start for the Dolphins in all aspects. Oh my goodness. You got to keep them out of the end zone here. There we go. Okay. Not much for Eckler. Man, I'm just beside myself here. This is a really, really, really poor start. Man,
this is not going well.
No, it certainly is not. 2nd and 8. Let's just stand up here, keep them out of the end zone, and let's get the ball back, and maybe we can get the ship righted here because this has just been just a mess. Come on.
Well, he's got all the time in the world to throw here.
Now he's going to bootleg. He's going to run. He's the touchdown, Mike Williams.
All right.
This is unbelievable.
This just got real, folks.
Okay. My friends, this is as bad of a start as you could have expected here. And it's, boy, if the offense doesn't come up with an answer and fast, it's going to be panic stations. I mean, defense is just getting their butts
pushed
kicked
around.
Here. They're just getting bossed. They're getting their butts kicked in all aspects. And this is an opportunity, again, where you have the opportunity to change the narrative nationwide. And right now you're falling flat on your face, which is, it's disappointing. I wish I could say it was an unfamiliar feeling, but this is who this team is, apparently. So they got to really dig down now. Down 10-0. Obviously a long way to go in this game, but a really, really poor start. And at this point, I would like to bring in somebody who, when I was talking to this person about inviting them on to do the show, he said, hopefully they will play better. And, well, I said, Kevin, when we were messaging about doing this, you said, gosh, I hope they play better than they played in the San Francisco game. And I said, it's hard to imagine they could play much worse. And, well, here we are.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad start all the way around so far.
I mean, they have just looked completely out of sorts on all sides. From your perspective, looking at, and by the way, this is Kevin Dern, everybody, hosts the Dolphins Talk Weekly, and we're excited to have you on the stream here, Kevin. But from your perspective, what is going on with this offense? They just seem out of sorts, out of sync. Just something doesn't seem right down there.
Yeah, I mean, they started the game off. There's no layups. There's no easy throws to get to it in a rhythm. It's the second straight week they've gone out and tried to go for the jugular right away. It's almost like they're trying to win the game in the first quarter, and you just can't do that. Like there's no running game. There's no play action. It's just been shots, and Tua's not hitting.
Yeah,
got to give him some easy throws.
And he's not hitting, and on a couple of times where he has hit. I mean, even though the coverage has been good, you got players dropping balls that need to be caught, which is, when your quarterback is a little off, you got to help him out. And it's just, man, I don't know. Nothing seems to be working.
Yeah, I think San Francisco pretty much cracked the code on this Dolphins offense last week by dropping linebackers deeper, having safeties play in the hole. And so far, McDaniel has shown an inability to adjust. Even when they've had guys open, Tua has missed the throws. I don't know what happened on the deep one to Tyreek Hill, but it's been pretty bad. And then defensively, I think the Chargers have figured out you pick on Cater Kohu until, he can prove he does something well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his hands full there. And one of the things that we talked about was, well, where do you put him? Do you put him on Mike Williams? Do you put him on Keenan Allen? And it seems like it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't really matter where he is. He's going to be the one that they're going to go after. And so far, they've been able to take advantage of him. And the Dolphins haven't been able really, other than one play, to really get home on Herbert.
Yeah. I think that's kind of, I really like Boyer in the scheme that they run, but they don't have the secondary players in place to do some of that blitzing and all that. They need to go back to the game plan that they used. Who did we play right before the bye? Cleveland, with all the pass rush games and rushing 4 and 5. And he just doesn't seem to have much faith in that working. And you're going to get crushed by Herbert if you be over aggressive and try these zero blitzes all night. They just don't have the cover players available to do that. And here we go, another empty set. So hopefully this is an easy throw here.
Yeah, and so this is where it looks like you're
they're
little
just,
bit ahead
they're
of us
just
on your
wasting first downs here.
So looks like you're a little bit ahead of us on the stream
Sorry.
here. No, that's fine. I don't know if you're able to pause it a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a rough start on both sides. As we're seeing it, the Dolphins are just lining up here to run the first down play here. And there goes Jeff Wilson out of the backfield. So yeah, another empty set on first down. And here it comes. And here's a long ball for Gesicki and can't make the connection. And it's boom, 2nd and 10. So man, yeah, geez Louise. It's just nothing working on offense right now for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, I think it's kind of a mini trend with McDaniel. If they go down, he kind of abandons the run, which is a little disturbing to me, given that he was a run game coordinator for the 49ers. And as a whole, like we've seen moments of it where it's been good. The Cleveland game was good, but it really hasn't been much better than it was.
Oh, no flag there. That's a flag. Yeah. That's got to be a flag. Okay, good.
That's our best offensive play of the night.
Yeah. Right there, I'll take it. So I need a spark right now. Got to get a spark somewhere.
This is really rough. So that was the slant over the middle to Waddle, and the defender had him there for pass interference. So hey, that's a big gainer for the Miami Dolphins, thanks to the pass interference penalty. And you got to take it any way you can get it sometimes. Kevin, things slowing down with you in terms of the school situation. Maybe we're going to be able to get back to a regular recording schedule. I know obviously you've been busy. You got the new baby in the house, so you're a busy guy on top of that, but you think we'll get you back here pretty soon?
I know my show is called Dolphins Talk Weekly, but it's been more like Dolphins Talk Monthly. But yes,
there we go.
So I graduate this coming Saturday, the 17th. So
there we go. Congratulations.
Class. Thank you. So that'll be nice. And then hopefully be back on a regular schedule recording the podcasts. And you guys aren't going to believe this play that comes up. This is wild.
Okay. Well, here we go. Spoiler alert.
And now the hatches, folks.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. We got a good one coming, I guess.
Well, we got something coming. We don't. It might not be good. It's wild though.
I don't know that I've ever seen this in an NFL game before.
Here we go. It's a run. Wilson fumbles the ball.
Fumble Ruski.
Oh,
ball's still alive.
Oh my God!
Whoa, baby!
What? What is
wait
that?
A minute. Are they going to rule that ball dead? I hope it's a touchdown.
Incredible.
It'll be sick.
Are they going to rule that ball dead?
Insanity.
The Chargers are not even looking. They're celebrating.
So this was
now.
Jeff Wilson ran the ball. It was a good run. He fumbled it. Everybody fell on it. The ball squirted out. Tyreek Hill picks it up. It's a touchdown.
Hey, touchdown! We're back!
Unbelievable.
The offense is alive!
The offense is alive thanks to a fluky play. It is
Hey, I'll
clearly a
take it.
fumble. It's clearly a fumble. Fumble goes backwards. So here we go. Taking a look at it moment to moment here.
Do I get
There, the ball
fantasy
goes out.
point
It
for
squirts
that?
out. Nobody can fall on it. It shoots over to Hill, who picks it up and runs. It's
I think
unbelievable.
for Hill, you get the fantasy points. I would
Yeah.
think for Hill, it's a touchdown.
So that's a touchdown
Let's
run
hope.
for Tyreek Hill if you've got him in your fantasy.
Oh, my God. Hey, you
Wow.
know what? I'd rather be lucky than good. I'd rather be lucky than good.
So this is Sanders kicks the extra point barely. And
All right.
so remember what I was just saying? I was just saying we
Air
were
in the
just
brain.
joking here before you joined the stream.
Just the way we drew it up.
Just before you joined the stream, Kevin, I said, the way that it's shaping up, it's going to be Herbert that puts up all the numbers and Tua who ends up with the win at the end of the night. And then which would be the perfect result for the narratives out there. The perfect narratives result for Herbert to have a great night statistically, but the Dolphins to somehow win the game because of wacky stuff like that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen that in an NFL game before. So
That's unbelievable.
pretty wild there. But I'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
Thank God
at
Hill
this
picked
point,
it up, too. Thank God it was Hill. He got some speed. If it was anybody else, probably going to fall to the ground.
as poorly as this game has gone so far, that was
Well,
something that the
10-7.
Dolphins needed. I mean, because to be fair, they did manage to execute a couple of plays. I mean, the run from Wilson itself was a decent little play, finally. But man, they've just been struggling to get anything going. And then you get a fluky play like that, and it puts you, boom, right back in the game. And you know what? You can't complain about it.
Hopefully that's kind of an eye-opener for McDaniel, because the Chargers' run D is already bad, and their nose tackle's out tonight, Joseph Day. Keep at it, I guess would be my
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
message there.
you gotta at this point keep running the ball. That's like the weakness, the single biggest weakness of this team. I know you feel like you want to get the aerial attack going, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I need the fantasy points from Tua and Waddle, I will gladly accept, the Dolphins running the ball all day. I'll take that.
Yes. Me too.
So-
I'm with you there.
I'm in a deep fantasy league where we have individual defensive players, and proud to say I started Christian Wilkins tonight. So
Ooh,
Well, that's going well.
that turned out,
nice.
14 points in the first quarter for him. So
Yeah. Nice little sack as well.
mm-hmm. But yeah, to go back to your question before that wild play, hopefully starting next week, we'll be back on the weekly schedule, and I'll have some more time to, do some articles and things like that. So I appreciate Mike for giving me the flexibility.
Oh, no worries.
Flexibility.
No
and
worries.
freedom to keep things
Absolutely.
going at my own pace. So
Yeah, no worries about that.
yeah.
Any content's good content. Whenever you can do it, it's fine.
Particularly
be
your
fun.
content is very good content.
Yeah.
So.
And what we do with podcast, it's supposed to be fun.
Mhm.
So it's not like, whenever you can, great. No worries.
Yeah, I can't say that I'll miss writing papers at 2 a.m. on
I'm sure.
Sunday morning.
I'm sure. Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, I still can't believe this play. This is wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. That was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. But I'll take it. You're going to be seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing a lot of that play. Especially if the Dolphins end up winning this game, that's going to be a play you're going to see an awful lot of.
Especially if
on
it's
the highlight
close,
show.
too.
Yeah.
Like a one-score win.
Yeah, and at this rate, that's where it seems to be headed. So,
Mhm.
well, let's hope that the defense now can get their act together and
Try to
see
get
if
off the field
Boyer
here.
decides to make any kind of adjustments here, because this has been unbelievable.
I think by and large, they've been a lot better against the run, minus the Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields games.
Yeah.
But if they had all the horses in the secondary going, I'd really be curious to see what kind of numbers the defense would post.
Yeah. Really makes you wonder that even if, if you had, obviously you really miss Brandon Jones. You miss Byron Jones as well. But you wonder what this team looks like if you've got Byron Jones and X back there, both healthy. If you've got Trill Williams, who by all accounts was having a fantastic camp.
Needham.
Nick
Needham,
Agba.
Brandon Jones. Yeah, I mean, you could really have this. This is they've played well and they've won so many games, so you haven't heard a lot of it. But this team has absolutely been playing very shorthanded in the secondary, and it seems again like there's some confusion defensively here on 2nd and 8. So let's see what we end up with here. Another dump off to Eckler. Yep, they're going to feast it all day with stuff like that, but at least they held them to a couple of yards there. So now big 3rd down play coming up.
Yeah. One of the interesting things I looked at was sort of this weird dichotomy they have on defense about being really good at home and really bad on the road.
True.
So I remember looking up the points per game. At home, they've given up like 15.3. If you had that for every game, that'd be the number 1 defense in the league. But on the road, they're giving up like 32.8, which would be the worst in the league by about a touchdown.
It looked like a false start there.
So,
yeah.
Wow.
What do you think there is to that? Is it simply just the crowd noise and the communication, or is there more to it? Because this has not been a situation, at least thus far in the season, where weather has really played into.
Yeah, I think some of it, I won't spoil what happens, but the Dolphins did a good.
Okay.
Well, I think some of it kind of stems from that Jets game that got out of hand. That was 19-17.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins
missed field goal, then
wheels fall off. They gave up the kickoff return touchdown against the Ravens, so that was an extra 7 points. They had the 2 shootouts, the Ravens game, the Bears game, Detroit as well.
Oh, Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
Eric Rowe. All right.
So,
Fumble. Oh, come on. All right, what a play by Eric Rowe. I like it.
All right, Eric Rowe. Yeah, they've had a lot of points that haven't been not necessarily the fault of the defense that they have given up.
And I think by and large, other than Thomas Morstead, the special teams have been pretty bad this year.
Well, it's been abysmal.
They've left a lot to be desired, and that's saying something.
I mean, I think I did like a tweet thread earlier in the year, and they had like a stretch where with the Ravens game, you gave up the kick return touchdown. The next week you had the butt punt. I think you had the worst like punt return average and worst average starting field position in the league going into the Detroit game. You gave up a fake punt for a first down in the Detroit game that led to 7. Like it's just been bad.
I remember the Jets had a big return as well.
Yeah, I remember there was something from the Jets game.
In the first half of the Jets game, they had a big return that set up a pretty short field. There was that stretch from like week 2 to like week whatever it was 6, 7, where they had at least one really bad special teams play each week. Now I'm like, how does he have a job, Danny Crossman? Like, how does he go home at night and sleep thinking, oh, I'm going into work tomorrow? I mean, at some point it was really bad. We'll see how it goes here. I don't know.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I've been to 2 games this year, so I was at you guys probably know I live outside of Cincinnati, so I was at that game and saw the whole Tua thing go down. Which was actually weird because we were sitting in my brother-in-law's seats, which are down low. So my angle of it, I actually thought he got leg whipped around and thought he broke his leg. I couldn't actually see, what happened after that because there were players in the way.
We were doing it live that night. We were doing this. We were doing one of these that night.
We did one of these.
And my initial reaction was because I just saw his hands. I was like, oh God, he broke his hand. Because I just saw his fingers. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah, because like when he
that was not a fun watch. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
So, because when he got spun around, there was someone that a receiver and a DB crossed right in front of me, and I was like, oh no, he snapped his leg around and broke his leg. But then I was able to go down to the Pittsburgh game on Sunday night. Kind of cool to be there for the comeback for Tua and the turnaround, I guess. And the 3-game streak. So.
The Noah Igbenogany game. That will ever be known as the one positive play he's made in his entire NFL career.
I mean, good for him. That big pick.
It was. I felt so good for him after that game. I felt so good for him because, look, it's not his fault. He was picked in round 1. What do you want me to do? He was picked in round 1. And it's not – and, I'm sure he's out there trying hard. I'm sure. It's just not working. But he had a moment, and I'm happy he had a moment.
It was funny because I went down with my brother-in-law, and he's a Bengals fan, so he doesn't know much about the Dolphins players. And I was telling him, like, oh, crap, he's in the game. Like, they're going to start picking on him. With where our seats were, we were in the upper deck on the end zone, but we were, like, literally sitting, like, I put my foot on the inbounds line and one on the sideline. So that pick happened, like, right in front of us.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was pretty cool. Oh, that guy doesn't look too bad to me.
Oh, wow. Small sample size. Yeah, right. You only knew.
So
here we go.
Here we go. Dolphins on offense. Oh, look, it's a run play. It works.
It's a run play. Hey, look at this. Jeff
There
Wilson.
we go. See?
There we go.
See? Oh, is he all right?
He's fine.
He's hurt.
Okay. Oh, no.
Nope, he's hurt. Wilson's hurt. A little shaken up on that play.
Somebody got hit below the nether region.
I didn't see. I'm looking at the replay here, trying to see what it looks like. His knee bent a little bit strangely when he first gets pulled back. Could be a knee, could be an ankle, but here we go. Ugh. We got a flag here. What is it?
You got Robert Hunt's downfield. I mean, he's clearly standing like 3 yards downfield before the pass was thrown. I mean, that's a tough one for fans to see. I saw that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's all the way down there. Yep.
Unbelievable.
I feel like we get this penalty called on us a lot.
But here's the thing. Every time it's called, it's not wrong. Look, this one's not wrong. I mean, Wilson it's clear as day.
Wilson is on the sidelines, looks a little gimpy. Looks like he's pointing at his hip. So that's not great because he's looked a lot better in this game than Mostert has. Look out. Look out. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Tua running to his scrambling to his right. Yeah, I don't love it.
3rd and 10.
And now we got another 3rd and 10. So, hey, this game is playing out exactly as everybody expected. Low scoring affair. Grind them out game.
Everyone said take the over, take the over, take the over. It was 51.5. This game's not going to come close to 51.5.
Yeah, right now
unless after halftime something drastically different
adjustments or something. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, this has been a rough watch so far. It seems like the Dolphins.
We have made some positive plays. I mean, it was a cheap little fluky type touchdown, but then they had a nice run by Wilson. So
there you go. Nice pass over the middle to Wilson.
Exactly. Now you got a nice play here.
There you go.
So,
you needed that.
Looks like, I don't know, it's a slow process, but maybe they're getting back on track here.
I think the quarterback needed that one too. Yeah. I mean, the quarterback, Tua has not had a very good game. He needs some plays to help him get into some kind of a rhythm here. He still just looks uncomfortable back there, and he's had plenty of time for the most part in this game. I mean, they've gotten through a couple of times, but for the most part, the offensive line again has held up pretty well. So let's see if he can keep this going.
Cedric Wilson's on the field more. I don't think Waddle's been on the field a lot tonight.
Here you go.
He's been out there. Waddle must not. I mean, he must.
I wonder how much his ankle's bothering him. From last week.
I think it's bothering him more than we think. I mean, he's playing through it, which is great, but he is not. I mean, Cedric Wilson has been on the field pretty much all year, outside of a few punt returns. He's on the field almost every play now.
So here we go. Big 2nd down and 9. Here, offense is starting to click maybe just a little bit.
Maybe
a little bit of a nice drive here. So come on,
percolate.
Let's keep it going.
Did McDaniel have a beer with Adam Gase in their California?
What is going on here? Just another nothing play.
Oh, that blew up.
That one got blown up from the start.
Another 3rd and 9. 3rd and 10. That's where Miami's been most of this game.
We've just been spending all day at 3rd and long.
4:21. It's actually a big play here because Chargers get the ball, start the second half. You wouldn't like to punt it back with a lot of time in the clock because if they come down, score, then they get the ball second half, score, could be in trouble. So this is actually a big play here at 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it's been It really feels as though the Dolphins are. They're just struggling to find what works for them. It looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
Timeout.
So we got another 3rd and 9, another 3rd and long. It feels like we've been living in 3rd and long in this game. I don't know how many of them have we had now so far.
I think that's at least 4. What are the odds this is something over the middle to Tyreek Hill here?
Oh, I mean, I think the odds are high.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't sound great. So here we go. Tyreek, for fantasy purposes, Tyreek Hill's touchdown only counted as a 6-pointer, as it was technically a fumble return for a touchdown.
Fumble return. That makes sense.
So there's a note from Field Yates. So let's see what we got into. 47 total yards for this blockbuster offense for the Miami. Oh, false start. Good.
False start.
Good. Is that Brandon Shell over there?
Yep.
With the false start. Good. Just what you need. Just what you need is a nice false start when you've got a 3rd and 9 to turn it into a 3rd and 14. Man, Brandon Shell. I mean, to be fair to him, he's been decent on the right side.
Yes.
Disaster on the left side, but I mean,
he stepped in well.
Yeah, he certainly stepped in it right there.
Oh, there he did too.
So here we go, 3rd and 14. Ay. 3rd and long. So I mean, at this point, you're really, really grateful for that fluky, weird fumble recovery play, because it's about the only thing that's gone right in this game for the Dolphins so far. Here's a long overthrow him.
Not even close.
Sherfield.
Not even close.
This is just nothing is working. And so what are you going to do, Mike McDaniel? Nothing in your plan is working right now. And you've got to figure out something. Because, I mean, this is just, it's a mess. They're manning up on these guys at the line.
And now here's where I'm nervous. They got about 4 minutes or so they're going to have when they get the ball back. If they march down the field and if they score a touchdown, then they get the ball back to start the second half. This next 4 minutes is going to shape the rest of this game for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It really will.
To the kicker there, it looks like. It's a
nothing
nice punt. Good
bad.
Roll here. Good. You needed this. Needed that. So that's nice.
Needed to pin them back.
Field a little bit on them. And now you got to hope your defense can come out and turn up, because this has been rough stuff right here.
Yeah, I need a quick stop here. See if you can get anything going.
You'd love a 3 and out. You haven't had one of those yet today.
Well, we should have, but Cater Kohu happens.
Yeah. I am seeing a commercial for Def Leppard and Motley Crue with special guest Alice Cooper coming to the JMA Wireless Dome.
Yes, in August, right?
Actually, just recently bought tickets for the wife and I to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who are playing in Syracuse. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we got a lot of big acts coming out our way. A lot of big acts.
Are you guys both in Syracuse?
Yeah, we're in that general vicinity. Mike is a lot closer to Syracuse than I am.
Okay.
I'm like kind of in between Syracuse and Rochester. But
Gotcha. Okay.
We're about 20 minutes apart, roughly.
I am the Floridian who wound up in the middle of Central
Auburn, New York. Auburn, New York.
So you did it backwards. You moved to New York instead of from New York down to Florida.
Yeah, I should be doing most of the time it's people doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know that I see myself living in Florida ever again. I could be wrong. Who knows what happens when my parents get very old and, then they start needing help. But of course, my brother is currently down there. So
Aaron the Brink just got volunteered.
I don't know. I don't know that another permanent living arrangement in Florida is one for.
Here he is. He's joined the room.
Oh,
you heard his name.
We got to take the whole overlay off here so that he can talk to us here.
Aaron the Brink just got volunteered.
What the hell? You're not going to come down here and give me a hand with our parent?
I didn't say that. Oh my goodness. So
I want to find a place like on Seinfeld. I'm going down to the Boca Vista, and I just want to move in.
Del Visto Becco.
That's it. They always get the name wrong.
What's that big like condo network like south of Orlando, the Villages or something like that?
Oh goodness. All right, here we go. How about some defense here, and maybe we can get out of here and maybe get the ball back.
If they get a 3-and-out here, they're going to get some field position. That would be nice if they get a 3-and-out.
Get him! I'll take that. I like that. Good. Let him throw the ball away.
Is having a day.
Wilkins is really having a day.
I mean, Wilkins is one of those guys who, like every snap of the ball, he sees a quarterback and it's just a human being with like one of those old fashioned sacks of money with the dollar sign on it. Every time he's looking at the quarterback, that's all he sees. Because I mean, this guy's going to be getting paid, and if it's not the Dolphins, which let us be clear, it should be the Dolphins.
Oh, it's going to be the Dolphins, but that just kind of underscores.
Oh boy,
the urgency that they've got a window here before they start having to pay a bunch of guys. They really got to win this year or next year, maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. All right, big third down. Let's get off the field here, Miami. Come on, let's go. Here we go. And there it is. Another taking advantage of the fact that the Dolphins have nobody on the line of scrimmage covering Keenan Allen for some reason.
Oh, God. Andrew Van Ginkel was right there, too.
Looks like we were in a zone here and just, I mean, he just ran right through it and nobody followed him. So, I mean, the Dolphins were in some sort of zone coverage, and so he was all by himself over there. Too easy.
Oh, this terrible tackling.
And Christian Wilkins makes a tackle 25 yards.
Oh, jeez. Oh, goodness. This is terrible. Okay. Dolphins are missing tackles. And it went from having a third down and an opportunity to get out on a 30-and-out, and now you got the Chargers who are going to hold the ball for the rest of the first half unless they turn it over. Ay. I mean, all the talk about Herbert being a worse quarterback than Tua this season, which for all intents and purposes has been the case this season right now. And again, they miss a sack. I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's been the case this season. But right now, Herbert is just playing. I mean, Herbert and the Chargers are just running circles around the Dolphins, and it's
pitch and catch. He's got guys wide open. It's not even making them. They're not even making them really work for it, and he's just taking advantage of just wide open guys for the most part.
This honestly looks more like a Dolphin game from the last couple of years than it does from a Dolphin game from this season. It's like the Dolphins' offense is all out of sorts, and the defense is. I mean, for the fact that they've only given up 10 points, it's been a mess. I mean, and let's not forget they've only given up 10 points, but part of it was stopping a 4th and goal at the 2-yard line.
And we only have 7 points because of a really fluky fumble recovery for a touchdown.
And the offense has done
completely dominated in this first half. So, I mean, if you can go into halftime only down by 3, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is the defense has been on the field most of the half because all these drives have been short other than the Tyreek Hill play.
Well, yeah, but I also think the defense has some culpability because the defense isn't getting themselves off the field either.
I understand, but you got to start the second half on defense again. They're probably plus 10, plus 12 in time of possession on Miami.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Let's see what. Yeah, I want to check these stats. Look at Tua's 3 for 14, 25 yards. Unbelievable. 3 for 14 for Tua. Justin Herbert's 20 for 23, 178.
I'll say this.
Time.
Go ahead with the stats.
Time of possession, 8 minutes and 41 seconds for Miami, 19-19 for the Chargers.
You could talk about any stat that you want about time of possession, about play calling, running the football. We could talk about the defense. At the end of the day, The Dolphins aren't going to win anything of any significance unless Tua plays a lot better than he's played over the last 6 quarters. And so we could talk about, they need to run the football more. They need to have more possession. The defense needs to. At the end of the day, we've seen the Dolphins do all of those iterations over the last 20 years. And the one thing that we haven't seen them have is really great quarterback play when it matters. That is the story right now. If the Dolphins are going to win anything of significance this season, Tua has to play better.
Oh,
Yep.
boy.
Hey, if they don't win this week, and I know it's just halftime. If they don't win, or it's about to be halftime, if they don't win this week, the drumbeat on social media, the drumbeat on Fox Sports, the drumbeat on ESPN is this guy can't win big games, and it's going to be loud. And his fan base, who has that too, and his fan base, which has supported him so much in fighting with people in the media. I know this stuff doesn't matter. They're going to turn on him at the drop of a hat. I'm telling you right now, they will turn on him at the drop of a hat.
You got to be kidding me.
Was that an illegal forward pass?
I don't think he was past the line.
Close. I don't think so, but it was
looked fine to
close.
me. But I mean, this is
First down.
As I said on our show this week, Brain. One of the big narrative that I had questions about was whether or not Tua was going to be able to put it together and play big in a road game in December and January, and that thus far he had not been able to do that. Right? That's what he had not shown us that he could be that guy on the road in December and January. And here we are again. And
it's not the offensive line's fault. It ain't the weather. You can't ask for better conditions against a team that's got a million guys hurt on defense.
I think one other thing, though, I think Mike McDaniel needs to help him out a little bit.
I agree 100%.
Dropping back and throwing 10 to 15 to 20 yards down the field every single time you drop back is not necessarily a recipe for success if the defense on the other side is going to be dropping everybody back that deep. You need to adjust. How about some shallow crossers or some quick slants? How about some bubble screens, some tunnel screens?
Yeah, McDaniel hasn't been very good since the bye.
Yeah, he really has not been. I mean, he really has not been since the second half of that Houston game. I mean, it's been first half of that Houston game was fantastic, but then since then it's been a mess. And he, was outmatched because of the offensive line collapsing, and he stayed aggressive and they couldn't get it figured out. And then obviously last week against San Francisco, and again here today in this game against the Chargers, it has not been a good look. And, so they've looked at this play. They've called it an incomplete. So it's a 3rd and long here opportunity with the clock stop. So maybe the Dolphins can get off the field here, only down an additional field goal, and they can maybe take a quick shot, try to get a field goal back before the half. But I mean, this has just been a very, very frustrating half of football here.
If Jalen Phillips could learn to flatten his rush a little quicker.
Jalen Phillips and the almost sack, right?
That's what
he's known.
We should write it's like a children's book. Jalen Phillips and the almost sack. So here we go, and there it is again. Oh man, and of course he finds Palmer for the first down. So Dolphins fail to get off the field yet again on a 3rd and long. It's unbelievable. The Chargers have found themselves in 3rd and long the same almost as often as the Dolphins have been in 3rd and long, but they've been able to make the plays to keep their drives going where the Dolphins simply have not been able to. And that's something that you really got to wonder about. Like, why can't you draw up the plays? You've got this offensive.
Well, here's what they do. Here's what the Chargers do. They get Herbert outside of the pocket, have him some space, and he's got guys wide open. We always see our guy in the pocket.
There we go. They got him that time.
Hey, Jim
missed that one too.
No.
Yeah, I know, really. Almost ran by him.
Right. It's a big sack. Dolphins call timeout.
But, like you said, both teams are getting the opposing offense into 3rd and longs. Sometimes it's really as simple as one quarterback is playing better than the other quarterback. Right now, Justin Herbert is playing at an extremely high level and Tua is not. And that's kind of the difference in this football game.
I think part of that is teams have figured out what Miami does on third down.
Yeah.
It's Tyreek over the middle. Oh,
Yep.
Eric
So
Rowe. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I don't like the sound of that. So
No,
here we go.
We're fine. We're fine.
Okay. So here we go. 2nd and goal. Chargers huddling up. And let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get on this 2nd down here as the Chargers try to drive. Oh, they're right in there. Come on. Oh, what a play. Eric. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
Looks like
legal man downfield. It looks like we got on the Chargers here. So looks like the Dolphins will probably decline this. And we got another, guess what? 3rd and long coming up. And the flag works out because it stops the clock.
Here's a question. If you force a field goal, does McDaniel try and be aggressive here?
Of course
he will.
That's what he does. There's not a conservative bone in his body when it comes to calling plays.
He should not. With the way Tua has been this first half,
I know. I mean,
at this point,
at this point, you almost want to just sort of cut your losses and say, okay, let's get into the half, but let's make a big play here on 3rd down and see what we get on 3rd down. Nope, we're gonna have a timeout first.
I disagree.
For the Chargers.
Like, you cannot coach scared. I know this hasn't been pretty.
He's coaching smart at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying you drop back and you throw, you make high risk throws.
I agree. Maybe you throw a screen or something to Tyreek and see if he can make it a punt return. But
I mean,
no timeouts.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have, my quarterback is a franchise quarterback, and then be saying, we've got a minute left and we're gonna just eat it because we don't trust.
No, it's situational. I think you can absolutely have it both ways in the situation.
So here we go. 3rd down. Can the Dolphins stop them and hold them to a field goal, or are the Chargers going to extend this into a 2-possession game? Here we go. Minute 3 on the clock. Dolphins with only 3 men lined up, and they drop everybody deep. And, of course, they dump it down under to Austin Eckler, who runs to the 1-yard line.
God.
I mean, this is just absolutely
fire this guy.
If you got half your defense on a goal line, why would you do that?
On every single thing the Dolphins do, they are completely outsmarting them. And Eckler is down short of the goal line. So it's going to be a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for the Chargers.
Fourth and goal.
Or a 4th and goal here at the goal line.
You didn't need to have your entire defense at the goal line. Good Lord.
I'm sure it's going to be a situation. I mean, unbelievable. Like, just dropping everybody deep. And, of course, Eckler's going to go underneath. He didn't get into the end zone, but let's see what the Dolphins are going to do here, what the Chargers are going to do. That this is an aggressive head coach.
There's no way this guy's kicking.
So let's find out. And Kevin, I've muted you here because you're a little bit ahead of us. So we just want to make sure that we can get the thing live here as close to being surprised as we can be here on 4th down and goal. But I imagine this is just going to be a QB sneak right up the gut. So here we go. We're going to put the ball 4th and goal at about the 1/2-yard line. I expect this is just going to be a quarterback sneak. I mean,
if I'm the Chargers, does the clock run at all?
The clock will. They're going to run. They're going to start on his whistle, but it's going to. But there's 16 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, because if you're the Chargers, you let this go down to 1 second and you call timeout. You take as much time off the clock.
Yeah, they're going to run the clock all the way down. So that's what's going to happen here. They're going to run it down. They'll run it down to about 20 seconds left, and then they'll call either a play or a timeout. Here they go. They're in shotgun, which makes no sense to me, but here we are. They're not going to run the play. So they call the timeout with 21 seconds to go. So this is
I would love to be the kicker for the Chargers. That guy gets no work. being the kicker for the Chargers, he's never going to call your number.
I mean, this is.
I wouldn't hear either. That's my point.
Yeah, this is gut check time. I mean, if the Dolphins could come up with a goal line stand, which from this defense several times this season, you go into the half down 10-7 and a half where you were absolutely destroyed in every phase of the game.
Yeah. So let's see what we get here. 4th and goal, 21 seconds to go, first half. Dolphins down 10-7. Need to find a way to make a stop right here and stay in this ball game. There we go. Herbert is under center. I expect the QB sneak. Let's go.
I think
let's see what we can do here. Officials are in the way.
Landon Roberts.
Here we go. Here we go. Man in motion.
Sam Guavan on the field.
And they hand it off to Eckler, who gets in for the touchdown.
Ah, crap. We're screwed.
And this is screwed. I mean, the Dolphins are in deep trouble in this game.
90 yards when your defense needed a stop to go into the half. You let them drive 90 yards.
And here's the thing. I've been told, listen, there's a long way to go in this game. You're down 2 possessions. Obviously, a lot can change. But based on how this game has played out, I have been told over and over and over again that this is not the same old Dolphins. And guess what we're looking at right now, folks? Guess what we're looking at? Obviously, a lot of time to go. But you're now in a situation where you're going to have to come from behind in the second half of this game on the road in December to find a way to defeat this Chargers team, a Chargers team that's playing for their lives. Let's not forget, right? A Chargers lost today, and their season is in dire straits. So they're playing for their lives. And honestly, it looks like right now of these two teams, it looks like they're the team that's playing in the big football game.
And they have an easy schedule after tonight.
Dolphins look like they're playing preseason football, and it's a real mess right now. So I don't know. There is no way to spin it. This game has been an absolute disaster from the perspective of the Miami Dolphins. You've got Teron Armstead. I mean, there's no excuses here.
No.
There's no excuses other than the fact that you've just come out and you've been flat out played and unprepared. And boy, I sure hope you can figure a way to turn it around in the second half, because I mean, at this point, you're just lucky you're only down by 10 points, because it should be a lot worse than this. Your one fluky touchdown on your team, like you got one fluky fumble that turned into a touchdown, and you have the Chargers, you managed to stop them because of a bad pass from the quarterback on a 4th and goal. You managed to stop them. You've been outplayed in every aspect of this game. The fact that you're down by only 10 points right now is kind of a minor miracle. And if you don't find a way to turn this thing around in the second half and come out of here with a victory, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do, and this team is going to have a lot to answer for. And the fact of the matter is, next week you're going on the road on a short week where you have to fly across the country to go home and then fly up north to go to Buffalo. I don't want to panic and say the wheels are falling off here, but you know, those lug nuts are getting awful loose over there.
Don't want to think about that Buffalo game yet, but
you're getting shredded regardless in that game.
You can't.
Let's be realistic.
I mean, in that one, it's. I mean, at this point, the way things are going, it's a win for the Dolphins if they can cover, or I mean, if they can, win against the spread.
One thing when you get the ball back with a minute left, with 18 seconds,
just take a knee.
I mean, come on.
You're gonna get your quarterback hurt.
Still going for it here.
Just take a knee.
At this point,
would have been difficult.
The odds of you doing anything good here are far outweighed by the odds that you give the ball back to the Chargers with a chance to put more points.
What a terrible half.
Yeah, this is.
I have an interesting stat. Here's an interesting stat. Tyreek Hill is the only player in the Super Bowl era to score a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a punt return touchdown, a kickoff return touchdown, and a fumble return touchdown in his career.
How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Only player to ever do that.
Well, I'll take that. That's the one cool thing that we can take to the bank. Well, Mike McDaniel, Mr. Cool head coach. He's the funny guy. He's the guy with all the personality. This is the adversity. He said he wanted to face adversity, and here it is. You had a game against the San Francisco 49ers where you just didn't play a very good football game. You managed to turn things around a little bit in the second half, and you made it a game, and you put yourself in position to at least compete, and then you fell short. Now here you are at halftime of this game against the Chargers, a team that is fighting for their playoff lives, and you had an opportunity to really make a statement, and thus far you've come out completely flat, outplayed in all aspects of the game. And with 30 minutes of football left to go, what do you do if you're the Miami Dolphins? Because this has been abject failure in every aspect.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If your quarterback's not making plays, and there's really no option to take him out of the game, obviously. I don't know what you do. Whatever you came into this game with as your game plan, literally throw it in the garbage and come up with something else. You got, 20 minutes there at halftime, or I don't know how much time they get in pros. Come up with something, because whatever they're doing ain't working. And it's not the offensive line's fault. It's not anybody's fault. They're just not making plays on offense. And I don't know. And then on the other side of the ball, they're close. They're getting them in third and longs, and they just don't make the big play to get them off the field. So,
well, they're not putting themselves in position to get off the field. I mean, it's like everything that they are doing, the Chargers are countering, and they have not yet figured out a way to put to account for whatever it is that the Chargers are going to do to counter for how they're playing defense. And you've got to have that as part of the plan. You can't just say, here's our plan to stop this play, and then when that doesn't work, just let them take advantage of it. You got to have.
I know it sounds counterintuitive. They've got to be less aggressive on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
it's actually true.
Like,
they just need to stack good plays on offense. And sometimes a short little screen, get into a 2nd and 4, get into a 2nd and 5, into a 3rd and 1. We are just, blowing plays early downs and just putting ourselves behind the 8 ball, making it tougher on everybody. Just stack good plays. That's all they need to do on offense, and then things will start to pick up. But Mike McDaniel, I know he's aggressive, and fans love it when he's aggressive. Oh, good play. But there comes a time where you just
need to be
it's not
smart.
working, bring it. Yeah, be smart. Bring it back. Dial it back a little, and be selectively aggressive.
Well, you got Jeff Wilson Jr. got carted off, so we don't know exactly what the deal is there, but that's never a good sign. I would guess that you're probably not going to see him the rest of the game. So you've got Mostert and I guess Myles Gaskin.
No, Gaskin is inactive. I think you've got Ahmed as the other running back.
Okay, so I mean you've lost your between the tackles guy. That's not to say that you should abandon the run, because obviously you're going up against a run defense that's been really, really terrible. So you still need to sprinkle that in. I think you can be aggressive as far as passing the ball, but not every pass needs to be 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. I think that's where the major adjustment has to be made on offense is let's shorten some of these routes. Let's get some layups, like Kevin was saying, to get into a rhythm and get this offense cooking a little bit. It's extremely difficult to have any kind of rhythm if you're consistently 2nd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 15. You've got to get in some situations where you've got 2nd and 6, 3rd and 3, and then you pick up those 3rd downs, and now you've got a drive going. But it's been very much all or nothing for the Dolphins the past few weeks. So they really need to make some adjustments there. On the defensive side of the ball, they look completely lost when they're in a zone, which is very troubling. because I don't think that they match up well enough against the Chargers to go man-to-man. And so when they've gone man-to-man, their guys are getting beat. And when they go in zone, guys are wide open because guys are just lost out there. So this looks like a poor coaching job on both sides of the ball, offensively and especially defense.
Kevin, you seem to think that the key here for the Dolphins was, like the brain said, was to be a little bit less aggressive and
Yeah,
and
the
set yourself up
whole
for
offensive
success.
game plan just reeks of McDaniel outsmarting himself. Like, there's no cohesion between the run game and play action. It's not good. They've been way too aggressive trying to take shots early, and it's bit them.
Yeah, it seems like he has not adjusted off of the fact that I'm just gonna call big play after big play after big play. You know, the things that have been working against these, weaker teams that they use to light up the scoreboard week in and week out.
Yeah.
And now that's not working. And it seems like he's got nothing else in his back pocket. And that is a little bit concerning here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no constraint plays. And I do wonder if there's sort of a purposeful, principle for that. You're trying to not put that stuff on tape because you've got a massive game next week. But if you lose tonight, the implications go down considerably for Miami for that game. But where's a jet sweep? Where's a screen? Where's a draw? Where's a delay? None of that is existent. They haven't even done many traditional play action plays. Defensively, I think they get themselves in good looks, but Boyer doesn't know the right times when to throttle back the aggressiveness. And then when he does, as we saw on that play right before the half, when they had everyone in the goal line, you're swinging the pendulum back too far. Like, he does that threading the needle part has been off, I would argue, really since the Cincinnati game. They've just had the advantage of playing some bad teams at home, which has helped. But yeah, this does not seem like a very good game plan on offense, especially. And then even if you've had a few open shots where Tua has missed it, and I kind of fear like the Tua road game thing late in the year is a thing for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we saw the stat that was put out there by, I think it was the tweet before the 49ers game from Chris Kaufman about Tua on drives in the second half where the Dolphins were behind in games, and how it was something about 10 drives and like his numbers were off the charts. And on 8 of those 10 drives, the Dolphins had scored touchdowns. And then we saw that the Dolphins played the entire second half against San Francisco from behind, and we saw what happened. And so now you have this December, January road game thing, and it's, if things don't correct themselves in the second half, this is now officially a thing, and it's not a thing that's going to get better next week. When you go and you play in 30 degrees and wet weather in Buffalo, it's not going to get any better. So, boy, you don't want to get crazy and say that the season lies on the next 2 quarters, because obviously that's a little bit dramatic. The Dolphins could lose the next 2 games and still potentially be in playoff position, but
pretty hard to see them winning a road playoff game. They're just not a portable team. They don't run the ball consistently enough, well enough. They stop the run pretty well defensively, but every other team in the AFC right now is a cold weather outdoor stadium.
Yep.
That just doesn't bode well.
Yeah, no matter what happens, you're traveling either at this point, in all likelihood, to Kansas City, Baltimore, or Tennessee, and it's going to be cold and it's going to be gross. wherever you play that game. Or Cincinnati is actually more.
I think it's going to end up being Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Cincinnati is going to, likely end up winning the AFC North when all is said and done. So you've got to find a way to win this game. I mean, and quite frankly, even if you end up turning this around and winning this game, then next week obviously becomes huge. But right now we've seen that what the Dolphins' main trick has been figured out at this point. And this is not like last week against San Francisco where it was just plainly just Tua just missing guys. I mean, that's been part of it today. Yes, Tua has not been on it, but the Chargers have been all over the Dolphins in this game. This is not like last week where Tua was missing wide open guys all day. This has been a very good performance from the Chargers defense, a defense that has been much maligned, and for good reason, because they've gotten roasted. But,
and we might have lost Hill for the night, and Hill might not return. He has an ankle injury, questionable to return. So Tyreek Hill's night might be over.
Perfect.
We've hardly seen Waddle in the first half at all. I know he drew the penalty on the one play, but other than that, really nothing.
Well, that's as good a time as any for me to say I'm going to go use the little boys' room and take a break. So
I have to sign off, fellas. But thank you for having me on, and
absolutely, thank you, Kevin.
We'll be back on schedule next week.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin. We appreciate it, and we look forward to the next episode of Dolphins Talk Weekly. And congratulations on finishing your NBA program. That is no small accomplishment. As somebody who has a master's degree as well, I know the amount of work that you have just put in. Congratulations. It is well worth it. And at the same time, managing a family, my goodness, you are a heroic individual. So congratulations. Well done on that. And
you're too kind, but thank you. Thank you.
We'll catch you on the other side.
Sounds good, guys. All
right. Take care, Kevin.
All right. Yeah. Guys, I will be right back.
Me and Aaron will hold the fort down, whining about our Dolphins now. So we got possibly no Hill, Waddle less than 100%. Well, Cedric Wilson. Would it be a Cinderella story if Cedric Wilson in the second half has the game of his life and looks like the Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys and starts making play? Obviously, it all starts with the quarterback, I know. But Cedric Wilson might be in a prominent role here in the second half of this game, and I don't know.
I think Cedric Wilson will be a big part of the game plan. I think obviously Jalen Waddle really needs to step up. Tua needs to step up. I think hit some of these running backs out of the backfield. Like
find Mike Gesicki.
Where are the high percentage passing plays? Like everything is down the field and it's not working because that's what the Chargers have game planned for. Like adjust. So to me, this is a huge test right now for Mike McDaniel to show some adjustments and get this offense cooking. Obviously, Tua is a big part of that as well. And I'll maintain this again. No matter what the play calling is, no matter what's going on in this game, Tua's got to play better. Bottom line, like you want to be talked about as an MVP, you want to be talked about as a franchise quarterback. This was you've got to play better than 3 for 15 for 25 yards. I mean, it's dreadful. So it kind of starts and ends with Tua, and I know that's really simplistic and doesn't have a lot of nuance, but sometimes it's really that simple.
It's a quarterback league. It's a quarterback's league, and the teams with the good quarterbacks make the runs in the playoffs, and they win they win late in the year. And right now, we got a quarterback who's struggling, and there's no excuse here. It's not the offensive line. You can, nitpick about the play calling, but that was the excuse last year with the last coach. Can't say we found our head coach of the future, and it's the play calling why our quarterback's not. You can't have it both ways. So this is the biggest half of football Tua's going to play, because if this doesn't go well here, it's going to be a long week. This might be a long month, which might lead to a long offseason, because Tua, for all the positives from September, October, November, it's been a rough December it's been a really rough December.
And, before we even get to Tua, the onus is on the defense to set the tone here. The Chargers get the ball to start the second half. The defense needs to get a stop here. Like, you can't allow the Chargers to put points on the board on their first possession. You certainly can't afford to give up a touchdown and find yourself down 17 points. You want to hang your hat on being a defensive team. Come up with a stop and set the tone here in the second half.
And put Miami in a short field. Hello, short field on offense. Help the offense out a little by giving them a short field. That would be something really nice. Instead of, so we don't have to start on our own 20 or on our own 10 or 15. Let's just start maybe around the 40. Start a little spark. Advantageous situation.
Okay, so
it's 2nd and 10. Chargers ball. Miami forced an incompletion.
So the Dolphins are now short Jeff Wilson for the rest of the game.
That's a hip injury, by the way, for Wilson. That's never
with
good.
the hip injury. We've got an ankle for Hill, although he's questionable to return. I would think if he's able to play at all, he'll be out there. But I in some ways, being down those guys, you have to think maybe that is a good thing because it might force McDaniel's hand a little bit in how he draws up offense in the second half.
Mix it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, the good thing is just the Chargers are going to be the Chargers here and get a delay.
Exactly.
So here we go. 2nd and 15. We got to tackle him. There you go. Nice tackle, Eric Rowe. So gain of 2. So it's a 3rd down and long. Hey, go figure. 3rd and long. You think the Chargers will get off the field on this one? Unbelievable.
Eric Rowe's had a nice game.
Eric Rowe has had a decent little game for himself. We got a 3rd and 12. Dolphins. Listen, if you can force a 3 and out here, get the ball back. That is a positive start to this second half. But you got to do it. Got to make a big play. Let's make it happen. 3rd and 12. Here we go. All day long to throw the ball. And here comes a wide open receiver. Nice tackle, Kader Kohu. And the Dolphins are going to get off the field. All right. That's a 3 and out. That's a good start to the second half.
Getting the ball back.
Did their job.
Should have some field position as well. All right. Now it's Tua time.
All right, so you're going to get the ball back at your own 35-yard line with an opportunity to start the second half. So, hey, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start. And here's Tyreek Hill out there in the game for the Dolphins. So there you go.
Well, you know what we should do? We should
that?
read an ad from our sponsor at Manscaped.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Everyone go to manscaped.com. I won't do the formal one. Everyone go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code Dolphins Talk. Save 20% on your order. Get free shipping. Christmas is coming up. Hanukkah's coming up. Whatever holiday you celebrate at the end of the year, it's coming up. And Manscaped makes the perfect gift for the man in your life. They got everything from the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer.
That's right.
You can get the liquid formulations, the crop preserver, the crop reviver. Of course, they got the body gel, the shampoo and conditioner. You name it. They got cologne. They got the boxer briefs with, of course, the pouch. Everything at manscaped.com. And it's a great little gift. And just the name alone, it's good. Even if you need a gift that's a quote-unquote gag gift, we'll always get a chuckle when someone opens it. So everyone go to manscaped.com, use the promo code Dolphins Talk, save 20% on your order, get free shipping with our friends at Manscaped. Because remember, folks, your balls will thank you.
And you should go to easy for me to say, trueclassic.com. Get yourself some nice t-shirts as well. I actually just put in a new order for some new.
I have some news, which I forgot to tell you. Thanks for mentioning them. True Classic is going to re-up with us for a couple more months.
There you go.
January,
All right.
February, I think.
So
January,
thank you to our
February.
good friends at True Classic. They make
Yes.
incredible products, great shirts, great T-shirts. The Henleys are awesome. My wife was just telling me the other day, I was standing in the shirt, I was wearing my Henley True Classic, and she goes, man, you are really popping in that shirt. And I'm like, well, it's True Classic.
True Classic.
So head over to trueclassic.com. Use the promo code Dolphins Talk, 25% off on top of some of the other big discounts that they've got going on right now for the holiday season. So definitely take advantage. The best deals are to take advantage of their packs with multiple shirts in the package. It is absolutely worth your time and worth your money to do it. So take advantage of it. And here we go. Dolphins with the ball. Tyreek Hill back out there. You love to see it. Waddle is out there. Come on, Tua. Let's have a second half. Let's play some football. Let's get back in this game. Here we go. First down and 10. Let's take advantage of this team, Miami. They hand the ball to Mostert for no gain. Let's go.
Everybody beats the Chargers. We got to beat the Chargers. Let's go.
I can't believe just how flat and terrible the Dolphins have been in this game. And it's be really problematic for McDaniel to get out coached 2 weeks in a row. Oh, there's been a little hold there.
Terrible throw.
So here we go. 2nd down and 9 for the Miami Dolphins here.
Hill looks like he's struggling.
Yeah.
He might be out there more for a decoy than anything.
Another terrible pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Just horrendous.
That's just a terrible throw. You can say what you want about Tyreek not being 100%, but that was
not a bad throw.
He didn't give him a shot.
Bad throw from Tua. So there's nothing correcting itself here. And he's got all day, and he just completely misses. Just completely misses. And for all, at some point you got to ask the question. Well, let's see what happens here. 3rd down and 9 for the Miami Dolphins.
I don't think this head coach has the guts to do it.
Here we go. 3rd and 9. Tua's got time, and he throws it, and Gesicki is well defended. Asante Samuel Jr. breaks it up. It's a 3-and-out for the Miami Dolphins. Nothing different.
I'll tell you what he has shown that he doesn't have the guts to do. He's shown that he doesn't have the guts to adjust his game.
Yep.
What he's trying to dial up is not working. You run
another
the ball
bad
on
pass
1st down. You got 2nd and 9 instead of giving Tua an option. At 5 yards, everything is 15 to 20 yards down the field, and the Chargers are sitting there waiting for it. We're making this game extremely
100%.
easy for their defense because we're not throwing anything new at them.
I agree 100%. It's like we have no 2nd and 3rd and shorts, and we're not everything. It's easy to sit on us because 2nd and 9, 3rd and 9, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 8. It's simple to defend. And for this guy who's supposed to be an offensive genius and all that good stuff, he ain't showing it. And I always laugh, and I'm not going to make a wide generalization, fans say we found our head coach of the future. We said the same thing with Sperano. We said the same thing with Gase. We said the same thing in early years. We said the same thing with Flores. And you can't say that stuff that you found your head coach of the future until you're a couple years in. You can't say it in year 1. We've been down this road before. And I'm not saying Mike McDaniel is going to go down the same path, but we don't know everything we need to know about him as a head coach, and it's starting to show. The past few weeks, and part of it's on his quarterback as well. But like I said, like you've been saying, put him in an advantageous situation. It's like if we're in 2nd and 4, and then you can run the ball, and maybe you're in 3rd and 1. Okay, now we have them on their heels. They're going to run or pass on 3rd and 1. You have some leverage on offense to do various things. When you're in 2nd and 9, 3rd and 10, it's easy to defend. It's not that tough.
I think Frankie Lopez in the chat brings up a good point here. And somebody else brought it. Brian LaCourcier also brought it up about Tua seems to be going only to his first reads, and he's not really going through his progressions. And I wonder if part of this is just him overcompensating for a concern about the offensive line. And maybe his mental clock is sped up a little bit. And at the end of the day, there's no excuse. He's still it's still on the quarterback. But I wonder if that's what's going on a little bit here. And maybe Tua just isn't getting through his progressions and, is trying to force the ball down the field to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, even when clearly there's nothing there where he could be maybe checking down. So it's another thing to kind of make a note of without watching like the all 22. But to see, does Tua adjust? Does Mike McDaniel adjust the offense in general?
I mean, man, at this point, it's going to take the defense doing something special to get the Dolphins back into this game, because it's just been, I mean, at this point, I don't know. I'm starting to lose faith that this offense is going to be able to do anything.
Oh, I have no faith right now.
Because they have shown no ability to adjust to do anything. It's like, the definition of insanity is is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And right now the Dolphins are just doing the same thing over and over and over again on the offensive side, and nothing is working. And so you've got to try to figure out, you got to call an audible. You got to do something different. And right now it's not working. So right now if you're the Dolphins, you're relying on your defense to somehow come up and make a big play. Like, there you go. There you go. Nice play again. Jerome Baker with a pursuit. You've got another 3rd and long on defense. So let's get off of the field here. But I mean, at this point, it's going to take your only points in this game came off of a fluky
fumble,
came off of a fluky fumble recovery for a touchdown. So if you're going to do something in this game, you gotta, maybe you're going to ask your defense to come up with something big. But here we go. 3rd and long. Let's see if there's something the Dolphins can do on this 3rd and 9 to get off the field and then, put the ball back and get something going on offense, get something to click. Because
Phillips,
been rough.
Phillips, baby.
There we go.
Let's go, Jalen Phillips.
That's the
Jalen
second
Phillips
of the day.
in front of the hometown crowd. You like to see it. And here you go. That's a big play from the defense. Can this spur something?
You should get field position too.
You're going to end up with good field position here. What a play by Jalen Phillips.
And this is now the 4th week in a row the Chargers have given up 4+ sacks in the game.
Oh, they called a roughing the passer penalty on him. Are you kidding me?
Oh, jeez.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
What are we doing here, folks? I almost want to hear the freaking.
Let me see this.
I want to hear what Collinsworth has to say.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
That is such a garbage penalty.
What? That's as bad a call as I've seen ever.
I'm listening to the commentary.
What are you doing?
What is he supposed to do?
Well, they're saying because he used his shoulder
He fell
to get
down
himself
on
off the ground.
What
That's
is he
ridiculous.
supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? That is one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I mean, this game is the Dolphins have been terrible and they don't deserve to win this game at the moment anyway, but that is unbelievably bad. On a 3rd down, it's as clean a sack as you could possibly get.
He didn't even land on him.
It off. That is I'm sorry, I don't want to swear on here, but that is a horseshit penalty. That is absolute garbage. I understand that they're trying to do some things to protect the quarterback, but the game is football, and I don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation. He puts his hands to the side of the guy, so he's not throwing him into the ground. What's he supposed to do?
It's just ridiculous.
I mean,
it is such a bad call.
And in such a huge part of the game where the defense
it's an enormous call. And now, of course, the Chargers will go down the field and score a touchdown because, of course, they will. But, man, what a bunch of horse shit. I am like furious because now, even if the Dolphins stop him here, the field
position.
Yeah. The field is switched because that should have been the Chargers punting from the 5-yard line. Now we'll get a probably a defensive hold, illegal hands to the. Oh, good. Push him back.
Not everything's going to go against us, Josh. Like if the
Well, that's your makeup call. That's your makeup call right there.
I mean, makeup call. It's still first.
I know. I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Look,
that wasn't legal hands to the face either.
It was a
that wasn't legal
hand. But the defense still needs to step up. This is a good situation for the defense right now.
Yeah, 1st and 20.
Second and
17. Get off the field. Let's go. Come on, defense.
Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, he's adjusted. Boyer has adjusted what he's doing defensively. He's not bringing all of that pressure anymore.
What he's doing is they're playing a much more conventional 4-man front, and he's letting, Phillips and Chubb put their hands in the ground.
Yep.
And just come after them that way and drop 7 into coverage, which I think is the way to play this.
So here we go. 3rd and 17. Here they're going to drop everybody back because, of course,
this is like the amoeba defense.
Get off the field. Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right, that's fine.
All right. They get the completion. It's 4th and 3.
It is a decision because it's like 4th and 2.
I would imagine they're going to punt. Yeah.
This is the position on the field where
Dolphins haven't done anything on
where you have to be aware of a fake. But
yeah,
with the way the Dolphins offense has looked like they've had nothing going, this is also an opportunity for the Chargers to really flip field position and put Miami back against their own goal line.
Yep.
Larry Zacca just put out a tweet. Larry Zacca, most ridiculous call I've seen. Unbelievable.
I agree completely. Just an absolute horseshit penalty. And I mean, that penalty, while it didn't result in points, it absolutely changed. I mean, it cost the Dolphins at least 20 yards of field position.
Absolutely.
What a terrible
and time too. And time, because when you're behind, you need every second. It also costs us time.
So now we're down to about 9 and change here in the 3rd quarter. I mean, obviously, long way to go in the game. The game is still competitive. So there's still time for things to happen in the game, but it's just
a 2-score game.
It's a 2-score game. So there's, all to play for. It's all right there. So if the Dolphins can, figure it out or turn it around and make, come up with some sort of a different plan on offense, there's still time to make things happen. But man, at some point it's just got to lock in. Because otherwise we're going to listen to another post-game press conference of Mike McDaniel taking all the blame. And it's like, yeah, take the blame. But, what I'd rather have than a coach taking the blame is a coach that can actually get it right during the game.
He's, look, right now, if you're Tua, he's got to come out in this field. He's got to make some plays. And I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith right now.
You can afford to be balanced because your defense is
absolutely
your defense has kept you in the game right now. The defense has done their job. So now the offense needs to put something together. It doesn't obviously what we'd love to see is like a 12-play drive where they really string together some rhythm and you'd love to see that more than you'd love to see one like 75-yard touchdown, because that has more of like a fluky nature. It's not so much about rhythm. It's about, getting a good break and executing one play. Yep. You want to see this offense be able to stack good plays together on top of each other. But at the end of the day, even if they got like a 75-yard touchdown right now, you got to put points on the board on this drive.
Yes.
Because you're playing, it's not just you're playing against the clock, but you give the Chargers enough opportunities, eventually they're going to get something going.
Oh man, this has been,
fine.
At some point you've got to go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
No, just what you've been saying. What they've been doing hasn't been working. Find a play with Smythe in the flat. 5 yards or something, 4 yards. So little things, dink and dunk a little bit. And then if you want to take your shots, I understand, because that's who he is. He's going to be true to who he is, but just mix it up a little bit.
Simplify it. Let's go.
Simplify it's right.
Trent Sherfield, a nice little quick in.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go, Mostert. All right, I'll take an 8-yard run on first down.
There you
go.
How about that? I'll take that. That's nice.
Here's what would be nice. Run it again. Run it two plays in a row. Because then you're still being third and short. And
make the game easy, right? Simplify it. You've been super aggressive. Here you go. Run it again. First down. There you go. That's all you gotta do.
It's not that tough.
Let's go. See? First down. Let's go. Let's keep it simple here. Simplify it. Keep it in front of you. Obviously, you want your big plays to work, but they're not working right now. So get something else going. And then, when you have an opportunity later, you can open it up with the quick strike stuff. But right now, slow it down, simplify it, keep the game in front of you, play smart, and let's get back in this game because you haven't been able to get anything going on offense thus far. So here we go. 1st and 10. Tua back to pass all day. Run it, baby. There you go. I'll take Tua for a 6-yard run. Why not? Let's go. Just play smart. Stop. Don't press. Don't try to do too much. You're only down 10 points. There's a whole lot of game here, And
if you had Tua Tagovailoa over 4.5 yards rushing, you're looking real good right now.
With our friends at US. Yeah, that's right.
That was the prop number, 4.5 yards rushing.
I mean,
I think that was a 5-yard play.
Blanketed in coverage, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, they are.
So 2nd and 5. Had the blitz coming. They couldn't get anything going. Ran right into the teeth of the blitz. So we got a 3rd and medium.
5.
I'll take a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6
Hell
over
yeah.
a 3rd and 10.
See, these are the third downs that you got to be able to pick up, though.
You got to hit it.
And
I guarantee you, they're going. They've got 2 plays to get 5 yards.
They got 2 plays here. I was just going to say that he ain't punting the ball
unless they lose yardage on this play.
It's true, because if he went for it last week on his own 19, when the offense was struggling, he going for it here with the ball near midfield, I guess you could say.
Here we go, 3rd and 5, and we're gonna use the timeout. Yeah.
Well, that even is probably more of a sign he's going to go for it because, I don't know. Frank the Tank, our friend Frank the Tank from Barstool Sports, he has a hot take.
Uh-oh.
This is the game that proves Tua is not the answer. Next week, they get killed in Buffalo. It's Frank.
Yeah,
I love Frank. I love him.
Right on time. His timing on that take, as good as the timing on my take with the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, Tyreek! Come on! Let's go!
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. With the air in the brain jinx.
Frank, keep tweeting, buddy. I'll read them. I love him. I love Frank. That's a touchdown. Well, hey, that's going to help your fantasy team.
That ship has sailed at this point.
Okay.
I don't think it's coming. I don't think it's happening at this point. But that is a nice 55-yard touchdown pass.
All right, here we go.
We needed it.
Now we're only down 3 points.
I mean, the defender fell down, so.
Whatever. That's his problem.
But we'll take it. And just like that, we got ourselves a football game. Here we go. Finally, something happens.
Got a little spark. That
Here we
bad penalty. Maybe that bad penalty fired everyone up. And it also helps when the guy falls on his face and Tyreek Hill's running on a post
needed
down
that.
the field.
This is what the narrative is going to be if the Dolphins win this game. It's going to be they still got outplayed, but you had a fumble recovery for a touchdown and a defensive back fall down.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
The Chargers have had 2.5 quarters to put this game away. So if they lose, it's on them. Really.
Yeah.
So I think the defense deserves a lot of credit at this point.
Yes.
Clearly has shown up to play in the second half thus far. But we've also seen this a lot where the defense does what they need to do to kind of keep them in the game. And then when you really need them to step up at their most, at the most important part of the game, can they step up at the most important part of the game? I think that goes for both sides of the ball, though, because like you look at the Dolphins' losses in this game, in every single one, the Dolphins had an opportunity in the fourth quarter to go ahead in the game, and it was just the other team making the big plays at the end of the game, whereas the Dolphins weren't. So, when Mike McDaniel talks about he wants to see how his team responds to adversity, I think there's some validity to that point that, at some point the Dolphins are going to need to win a football game like this.
Yeah. So here's the opportunity. And the thing is, this is the best opportunity you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can call it a hostile environment if you want. It is something of a home game because there are so many Dolphin fans in the building, but it's a controlled environment in terms of weather. So I don't know. Well, this game has not gone
We're
at
only
all.
down 3. Well, if I would have told you we are down 3 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and our quarterback has only completed 4 passes on the night, you'd say you're out of your mind. We're only down 3. And we're playing a team. There's a knack for pooping the bed here in the Chargers every big chance they get. I think in one-score games, they've won like one game all year, which was against Arizona. They are not good in one-score games. We are in a one-score game with a quarterback who's played bad. We're only down 3. They let us hang around. They've let us hang around, and we've hung around. And now, the final 20 minutes of this game, it's time for us to flip the script here and try to pull out a victory like a bandit here. Steal one in LA.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Whew. Well, we needed that play.
We needed it.
My goodness. Okay, so now let's see if the defense can keep it up. The defense has made some adjustments in the second half, which thus far on the first couple of possessions have worked. Let's see if they can keep that going here in the second half. Get him! Oh, they were close. They were close. Turns into a 5-yard gain. They've been like just a hair late on getting a Herbert. How many sacks do they have in the game? 3? Would have been 4.
Oh,
if that one referee hadn't gone into business for himself.
Yeah, they got hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks right now. Rowe, Wilkins, Baker, and Phillips. Because the one would have been a second one for Jalen, but it was called back with the roughing.
Right. So we got a 2nd and 5 here for the Chargers. Get the rollout. Oh, they were so close.
Crud.
Oh, that's Howard getting burned and didn't touch him. Didn't touch the receiver after he caught the ball. God, Howard has this thing that when he gets beat, it's like he gives up completely on the play. And that's what happened here. He didn't even come back to think about, hey, maybe I got to touch this guy and make sure he's down.
We're going to give this touchdown right back. Unbelievable. We're going to give it right back to him.
Yeah. I mean, Howard got burned. Then gave up on the play, doesn't touch him, gives up an extra.
That is a very Xavier Howard type problem. And there's a missed tackle. Another missed tackle. And so the Chargers are going to come right down and score a touchdown here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
This is so same old Dolphins.
It's just so same old Dolphins. I can't even believe it. You finally get something that goes right after struggling all day long, and then the defense just gets friggin' shredded. Unbelievable. So bad, and so same old Dolphins. This is so same old Dolphins.
You got to find a way to keep them out of the
You
end
got to
zone
find
here.
a way. Find a way. First or second and 3 here. God, it's so sick. So sick. That's a bad pass from Herbert.
Yeah.
So you got a third down now. Come on.
This is a big win for the defense if they hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, if you can hold them to a field goal, it's huge, man. Because Jesus. I mean, those were just a couple of really, really bad plays there from the Miami Dolphins. Third down and 3. Let's get off the field. Come on, boys. Come on. Jesus. They call timeout. We got a penalty. What's going on? False start. Good. I'll take it.
Okay,
I'll take it.
Oh, well, if there's one thing that is going to be good, even if the Dolphins are the same old Dolphins, it's that you might still be playing the same old Chargers.
Yeah.
That's what we got to hope for. That's what we got to hope for.
For the longest time, I've heard the Chargers referred to as the Dolphins West.
Oh, yeah.
And there might be something
fair.
to that. Well, we were saying that this game is going to probably come down to a kick, right? So that's what Dolphins Chargers games do. All right, third down. Come on, Miami. Let's go. Big stop here. Here we go. 3rd and 8. Here they come. Clear out of the backfield. He throws to the end zone. He missed everybody.
All right.
Hey.
Chubb got in there a little bit in backfield.
All right. We're getting the ball back.
Miami's going to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah. Well, ain't that something?
After all that.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what you really hope for. At the very least, you want a chance to take the lead at some point in crunch time. This is still a lot of time left to go.
Here we go. And the kick is up. The kick is good. The Dolphins are down 20-14. But hey, we're getting the ball back with an opportunity, like you said, to take the lead. So,
well,
I'm going to open up another beer.
Fourth quarter. As we, how much time we got left in this quarter? Let me see.
There's like 4 minutes left in the third.
4 minutes. So we got
a lot of time right now.
A lot of time.
Am I allowed to give a free promo to my good friends at Prison City Brewing here?
I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
In Auburn, Prison City Brewing. I'm drinking their holiday porter. It's called Straight Outta Nopo. And it is a delightful Christmas porter. It is a porter with hazelnuts, cacao, cinnamon, orange zest, and ginger. It's good stuff. So,
and I see a few people asking, we are not behind. For us to actually run an operation like this, we all have to watch this game on Peacock to get our streams lined up exactly. So you might be a few seconds ahead of us. That's number one. And number two, I heard some people saying I can't comment. Because we're live, you comment on the right-hand side of the chat, not underneath if you're on the YouTube page. So I've gotten some people reaching out. That's why we're maybe like a few seconds behind you, because we are watching on the Peacock, so our streams are lined up exactly. But thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been a very large crowd tonight. Hopefully here we have an exciting finish here, because as bad as we played, just win the game. That's all we want at the end of the day is a win. And we can talk about all the other stuff later. We can talk about everything else later.
Yeah, that's the thing to remember is that we're already watching on a stream, which is delayed from a broadcast television feed. It's already delayed from the broadcast television feed. And then obviously with it going through YouTube that you're watching it, streaming it, putting it online, for you to watch it on your end, it's being delayed even further. So we're doing it as close to live as we can. Yeah. And here we go. Here's a run to Raheem Mostert up the middle. Go, baby! Mostert for 13. Let's go. Let's go. And I think Mike's feed is actually now even a little bit ahead of mine.
I will have to pause mine. Let me.
I'm at 4:01, 4 minutes, 3:59, 3:58. 357, 356, 355, 354, 353, 352, 351, 350, 349,
Let me know.
48,
Let me
47,
hold on.
46.
Let me know when you get to 334.
I will let you know when I'm at 334.
Because I had to sign back.
There
in
you go. And here comes Tua.
Oh, good.
Boy, Tua.
Right time I clicked on. Oh, he's really over on the rushing yards. Bet US, promo code Dolphins Talk. 125% sign up bonus.
Here we go. Tua's starting
blown
to feel
past the over.
You got to get the feeling that Tua's starting to feel this a little bit.
You know what he's feeling? You know what he's feeling? He's feeling a little oozy right
on
now.
His rushing yards, I bet you was.
He's feeling a little oozy right now.
Uh-oh. Oh, good stiff arm Mostert. All right, to get back to the line of scrimmage. I'll take
Remember when Tua came back in the Pittsburgh game and he, immediately lowered his head and tried to run over a defender, and then when he was questioned about it, he said, "I can't really do that," but he told the coach I needed that one. So maybe that's what Tua needed. Maybe Tua needed to run the ball, take a couple of shots to kind of settle down those nerves.
Listen, at the end of the day, he's a gamer, Oos. He's a gamer.
That's it.
So here we go, 2nd and 10. Here we go.
We
got Ahmed in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible pass.
Savon Ahmed was wide open.
Yeah, Savon Ahmed was wide open, but he was turning around looking at Ingold, who's getting involved for the first time today. And now we got a 3rd and 10. I feel like the whole game has been played at 3rd and 10. Ingold's got to make this catch. He did make this catch. Doesn't matter. It would have been no gain or a loss of yardage. It's better that it was ruled incomplete.
1 yard less.
Yeah, it's better that it was ruled incomplete because the clock stopped, and we ended up with more yardage. Woof. Oof. All right, here we go. 3rd and 10. Look out. He's got him.
All right.
Got him. Well, so much for our chance
defense.
to take the lead.
Now it goes to the defense. Make a play.
First, it goes to special teams. This is an opportunity for Morstead and the special teams coverage to try to pin the Chargers back and, flip the field.
Robert Jones. Robert Jones was a turnstile. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Okay, so the Dolphins punting it away. Couldn't do anything with the ball there. Now you got to play defense.
It's a good kick.
It's a good kick.
It is.
All right. I
like
it.
15. About 13, roughly.
Yeah, we're in the middle of this 3-game road trip, which is not going well so far.
No.
The gauntlet.
Yeah, the gauntlet is crushing us right now. Wow, that's pretty incredible. The splits there. Was that Chubb on the sideline? Oh, that was Rowe. Who was that on the sideline that they were just showing? I don't want any defenders on the sideline when the other team is gaining 9 yards on first down. Yeah. there have been a lot of Dolphin fans who have very loudly been saying that Tua is way better than Herbert. And
that's
those people who have been real loud on the internet this week are going to be. Granted, there's a lot of time and it could come down to crunch time and anything can happen. But right now, Herbert is just blowing Tua out of the building here. Here we go. Nice play. Jalen Phillips again. Roughing the passer. Throw him a flag.
Phillips is having a good game.
Phillips and Wilkins are like the future of this defense. Phillips and Wilkins are just unbelievable.
Well, Chubb. They signed him.
Well, Chubb, I know.
And now we got a 3rd and short. Let's get off the field here. That would be great.
Good Lord, Phillips. That's a great play. That's really a great
Rowe
play.
Is hurt.
Rowe is getting a massage.
Rowe's getting a 10-2 on the sideline.
Not a Watson massage, but he's getting a massage.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. 3rd and deuce. Come on, defense. Let's get off the field.
Might be the last play of the quarter.
We did get off the field.
Ooh, yeah. There we go.
Go.
And what you'll see there is the Dolphins rushed 4. They did not blitz, and they played zone.
Yep.
That's
Funny
what
how
they
that
need to
works.
do. Every time that they get over aggressive and they start bringing extra rushers, Herbert is killing them over the middle because our linebackers suck in coverage.
That's right. All right. Stepping away again.
All right.
I'll be
as we
back
go
for
to
the
the
fourth
quarter in a 6-point game, 20-14. And this is, this is it. This is it. Fourth quarter. It's going to be interesting. Everyone's going to have to do their job. On defense, don't give up the big play. Get off the field when you can. Offense, sustain a drive. That would be nice. This is going to be here's what I want to see. If we get into scoring territory and it's 4th down, which I know is asking a lot tonight, does Mike McDaniel kick a field goal to cut to a 3-point lead, or does he just go for it at this point? I got to pretty much just go for it. Yeah,
I think it depends where you're at and how much you have.
Yes. Because I got a feeling if it's going to be a 4th and 3 or 4th and 2, even maybe a 4th and 4, he might just go for it, thinking we might not get down here again. And I can't give up this type of opportunity.
I agree. I think anything more than a 4th and 7, and you're looking at a field goal of less than 50 yards, then I think you kick the field goal, unless you're like inside the 20. Even then, I still think you kick the field goal.
I would too.
1-score game.
I would too.
Yeah.
Just
because this is like one of those situations that we talked about a couple weeks ago when you and I did the show, and we talked about, can you trust your kicker?
Yeah.
This would be one of those situations. Hopefully, we don't get into this situation.
I'm with you. So come down and score, make the extra point, head up by 1, and then just get after Herbert and hope for the best. But this is the thing. Here's the thing. We talked about Miami on the road late in the year where their quarterback struggled. The Chargers all year have struggled in close games. They have just pooped the bed week after week. They've won 1, I think, against Arizona, like I said. So this is their kryptonite as well, getting in these tight games and not being able to finish. We'll see what happens the rest of this game. But this is where they struggle, the Chargers. Late in games, and when they're close, they're playing from ahead at least, so they have a little bit of a cushion here. But I don't know. So it'll be an exciting 4th quarter.
We said we're going to find out a lot about this team.
We are right now.
We said we'd find out a lot about this team in this 3-game stretch. I think we're going to find out a lot about this team just in this 4th quarter.
Yep, and our head coach. Especially the head coach.
I don't know about you guys, but I was watching that. I'm just like, don't run into the punter.
Exactly.
Don't run into the punter.
Don't give the referees a reason to throw a flag. (20-14). A full quarter to go. Miami starting on about the 26-yard line. And here we go. Big drive here from Tua. Hey, waddle, 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 waddle. Here, Josh, you're on mute. Josh, you're on mute.
Sorry, I've been reacting.
I've seen you yelling and screaming, but you're on mute.
I like to see the play from Waddle. I like that.
How about a nice, easy throw right there?
Exactly.
Nice play. Nice, easy throw.
In the flat, hit him.
Looks like Tyreek is still dealing with whatever it is he's dealing with over there, which again, I said is kind of a blessing in disguise because it's going to force McDaniel to simplify some things here. And here we go. We'll run up the middle. Not much there, but that's fine.
Got to keep him honest.
I don't love a first down run, but I mean, I get it. Tyreek is working through this. So here we go. Second and down and 8. Here we go. Come on, Dolphins. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, this is so big. It's all right. It's all right here.
This drive is huge.
As they've played in this game, it is still all right here for
Tua!
them in the fourth
Tua!
quarter. Here we go. Tua!
Ducking
down.
Oh,
yeah.
Tua's
gonna run. He's going to run for the first down.
First down.
Mr. Tagovailoa.
Entertaining the people, Brain. Entertaining the people.
I'm loving what I'm seeing. Look, it doesn't always have to be pretty at the end.
No, it doesn't.
You get down to the fourth quarter, you just got to find a way to make a play.
Matriculate the ball down the field.
Here we go. That's good. I like it. Another first down. I will take it. Again, just move the ball. Just move the ball. Just be smart. Here we go. Oh, Savon Ahmed getting the 1-yard carry. I love to see it. Savon Ahmed doesn't get that many carries.
No.
But there he is. So here we go. Second down and 9 here. Just got to keep it in front of us. The thing is, we've got to go down. We've got to get points here, preferably a touchdown. Need to score. Just the way this game is going. Look out for that blitz. Oof. Yeah, at least he got rid of the ball. There's nobody in the area. And now it's third down and 9. Okay. Third and long again. Oh, it looks like he thought Waddle was going one way or one. Oh, they called grounding on him.
Grounding? You kidding me?
Well, because he went where he threw the ball, there was nobody there.
That's not the spirit of the rule, though, but okay.
Well, but I mean, he was under pressure. He was under pressure, and he threw the ball, and there was nobody there. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's a
grounding.
grounding.
Yeah.
So now it's third and 19. So that really stunted this drive. Although, methinks if they can get 15 or so of these yards here, they're going for it on fourth down. I say, heck, if they get 10 of these yards, they're probably going for it on fourth down. So let's see. That is really, really a bummer there. So here we go. Third and 19. Let's go, really Dolphins. Hurts. Big play. Let's just get a chunk here. You don't need it all. Just a chunk. Here we go. Oh, God. A screen. To Tyreek. Not much there.
What do you get, 8 or 9?
They got enough.
I think he put himself in position. Well,
I don't know.
You're at the 45-yard line. Like,
but it's
not going to gain
like
that
12,
much field position by punting unless you pin them back.
Tyreek is just really hurting right now. They've been riding him hard, but I think they got a punt.
And Morstead's coming out.
Yeah.
Well, you got to make this punt count.
Yes.
Yep.
You know,
inside the 15 be nice.
Yeah, you can't give them the ball 25 and out.
Yeah, you got to really try to get it inside the 10. Here, Morstead, we know he's got a big leg.
So
here's the punt.
Right there. Nice call.
Right at the 10.
Right at the 10.
Right at the 10 or 11.
Perfect.
That's fine.
Perfect. I'll take it.
So now the defense is up to them again. Here we go. See, the thing is now, the position that the Dolphins have put themselves in is that they really have no margin for error on defense. Because, I mean, at this point, if the Chargers should even go down and score a field goal here,
it's over.
I mean, you're really in a lot of trouble. So it's, this is what happens when you don't play a full game of football. When you play so poorly for so long, you've dug yourselves this hole. And, even now that you have shown some signs of being able to get out of it, you've just given that defense no margin for error. And how many times throughout the years as a Miami Dolphin fan have you seen a game where your team, the defense struggled early, but then did enough to allow the offense to get back into it, only to not be able to finish the deal? And obviously it's asking them a lot. It's asking a lot for them to keep stopping the Chargers and to keep holding them off the scoreboard. They've held them to a field goal so far here in the second half. But, when the offense isn't clicking, that you're dependent on the defense. And so now the defense has got to come up big again here. And make no mistake about it. If the Dolphins don't win this game, it's a disastrous result. It's a disastrous result and has to make you question what this team is made of.
It makes you question what we saw today from the Jets, what we've seen. The Patriots aren't god-awful. They're solid, and plus it's on the road. At the Bills, if they don't win this game, how many more games are they going to win this year?
I mean,
the thing is it comes down to your expectations of this team. And to me, the way this team has been built this season, with the way that they've pushed all their chips in, they put themselves in a situation where they really have like a 3-year window.
Yep.
And really this year and next year are their two best shots to win it all. So this team needs to be contending for a championship. Losing this game really kind of hammers home. This is not the kind of game that you lose if you're a championship team.
That's exactly right. And that's a good play on first down from Zach Sealer. He's been a little quiet tonight, but that's a nice play. It's interesting looking at Tua on the sideline. He looks like a guy who doesn't have faith in himself to be able to turn this aroround.
Are we doing
There's
the
a
body
certain
language
body
thing
language.
now?
What's that?
We're doing the whole body language.
I don't know.
thing?
I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but do you remember, Brian, do you remember the Jay Fiedler coming in for
Of
Brian
course,
Greasy
the
game?
fire in his eyes, coming in for Brian Greasy against the Redskins on Thursday Night Football. Of course, I remember.
Come on, get him. Jesus, he turns it into a game. And again, that was Xavier Howard giving up on that play on Keenan Allen because, I mean, Keenan Allen wasn't content to just catch that and go out of bounds. He could have stopped that and made it into a different kind of play. This is the thing that I don't understand. Why is the clock running?
It only stops under 5 minutes.
He makes the catch. He runs out of bounds.
Yeah. It doesn't stop every time you're out of bounds.
It's crap. Big play, third down. Come on, defense. Get out of here. Good. They drop back into coverage. Oh, what a play. What a pass. What a pass. What a catch.
That's what he can do.
It's unbelievable.
That's why he's special. That's
a great
why he's
pass
special.
and catch. Great pitch and catch from Herbert to Allen. I mean, that's beautiful.
Crap.
I mean, that's a hell of a pass. A hell of a play. Is. I mean, tight, super tight window on
outside the numbers.
Nothing he can do. Nothing you
Only
can do.
Only his guy could catch it. Only his guy could catch it there.
I mean, he's a gamer. He's a gamer. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, Herbert is having himself a day here. He's like, I mean, man, all these, the Dolphins Twitter people who, oh God, we're going to get a late hit on Kohu. No, he was still in bounds. All of those people have been awfully loud on Twitter talking smack about Justin Herbert, and man,
yeah,
they're gonna get clapped back at this week, and they're gonna deserve it.
I've always said it's the stupidest debate. Both quarterbacks are good. Whether you think they're great or not, it's a whole different story. They're both good. Each team's happy with the guy they got. Why is there a back and forth? And Ruthie Polinsky from NBC6 this week, she was at a Chargers media session. You know how many questions were asked about Herbert versus Tua? None. You know why? Because the LA people don't care. They're happy with their guy. They don't live in this fantasy world where they're still reliving something from 2020. It's only from a Miami perspective. I spoke to a Chargers reporter this week. He goes, we never talk about it. Why? They're happy with the guy they got. It's only Dolphins fans who just live in this world.
Kader Kohu just got away with a hold.
Absolutely, he did. Who live in this world to where it's not just we're happy with our guy. We want to tear your guy down. And I don't get that logic. They just can't be happy with their guy. They need to tear your guy down. And it's stupid. It's a waste of time and energy.
All right, we need a big stop here from the defense on this third down here. Here we go. Third down. They barely got the snap off. What a play.
They moved Keenan Allen and they got him in space and they just
put him in. Yep. I mean, that's what he does. That's what he does.
And when you're in
here we go. I mean,
this
is exactly what the Chargers needed. A nice time-consuming drive right down the field. Dolphins got to make a stop at some point. Otherwise, this game is over.
You've got man coverage. Your man is running across the line and you're jogging to following on a 3rd and short. That's just terrible by Keon Crossen.
Yeah. So here we go. Chargers are just this is their drive where their goal is just take a bunch of time, make a tackle. There you go.
I mean, all they need is a field goal. Well, all they need is a field goal. All they've got to do,
all their goal is to run as much time off of the clock as possible and kick a field goal. If they can get this clock down to
game over,
3 or 4 minutes left and kick a field goal, this thing is done.
Well, I'm not.
That's what they want. That's their goal, is to get it down to that. And the Dolphins just need to get the ball back soon. They got to find a way to get off this field, get this defense off the field, get the ball back. They haven't forced a turnover in this game. Now would be a really great time to figure out how to do that because, man, they're hurting
again
all day
wide
long.
Open,
all day
Baker
long,
coverage.
Wide open.
He's 5 yards away from a field goal. They're about 5 yards away from a realistic field goal.
I mean, at this point, I don't know. I mean, at this point, even if the Dolphins figure out a way to win this game, I am losing faith in this team as a Super Bowl kind of team because they just don't have the ability to play defense.
No,
they don't have the ability. They don't have the defense. And
they don't have the defense.
At this point, when a team has figured out how to stop them offensively, they haven't figured out how to counter it. And now they're just getting eaten alive. Look at this. We're getting Wildcat here from the Chargers. We got Eckler taking a direct snap. Look at this. Yeah, Wildcat running it down your throat with the Wildcat. Forget it. It's been a fun ride.
This game's over. Unless there's a fumble or something fluky. This game is over.
At this point, I just don't see it. I just don't know how this happens.
Tua Tagovailoa, 6 of 22, 112 yards.
Yeah, December road
60 game came out of one
against a team with one of the worst defensive DVOAs in the league. He's completely.
Here's all you gotta know: 112 yards, 60 came on one play.
Yep,
that's the story of this game. Colin Cowherd's going to be loud. Bart Scott's going to be loud. Skip Bayless is going to be loud. They're all going to be loud, and you know what? They have every right to be. You're going to hear from Nina Kime. She's going to be loud. And it's going to be a lot of I told you so's, and there's going to be a lot of people on Twitter aren't going to like it. But as they say, winners brag, losers got to take it.
That's right.
Barring a major turnaround in these last 5 minutes, I think Tua is now out of consideration for the.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you think? You think?
Yeah.
You have to be a madman to consider him based on his performance in these last 2 games. That's a good throw.
I'll go even further. His performance these past couple of weeks, I'm not so sure they're going to pick up a 5th-year option on this guy at this point. I mean, you can play great against the Bears and Lions. That's great in September and October and all that stuff. There's more questions right now about him than answers. And I know a lot of Dolphins fans are going to be mad at me, and you can be mad at me. Unfollow me on Twitter. I really don't give a crap. There's no way to put lipstick on this pig right now, and there's no way to put a positive spin on this. This is as bad as it's. I mean, this is bad. This is in front of the nation too on NBC.
3rd and 8.
And here we go, 3rd down and 8. And here's Herbert, and here's the run. Yep, I knew this was going to happen at some point. He's got the first down, and unless this game ends up with the Dolphins blocking this field goal or Dicker missing this field goal somehow.
They're going to score a
somehow,
touchdown.
This game
every time the Dolphins
bad
go into
news.
man coverage.
Bad news, man.
Bad news.
It's over.
It's over.
This was it was a must-win game, and this team has come up small. And I don't care how much you love Tua Tagovailoa. I don't care how much you think he's a great person, because he is a great person. He's a good person, all of that stuff. But he has come up small. 2 road games in a row. And the thing is, that is not to give a break to the defense, because the defense, and granted, they fought admirably to allow the Dolphins to claw themselves back into this game. But this is on the head coach, and this is on the quarterback. Because at the end of the day, the defense has only given up 20 points, although the Chargers look like they're about to come in and score a touchdown here and put this game away. But, man, at this point, it's all or nothing next week in Buffalo, and I'm not holding my breath. I'm expecting the Dolphins to get boat raced out of that stadium.
Let's come on. When you say it's all or nothing next week, so you're saying if they assuming they lose this game, and then they lose to Buffalo, you're saying what? The season's over?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that, when you look at what this team is and you look at who this quarterback is, if you want to have any faith, if there was any opportunity, because I had so many people telling me that these are not the same old Dolphins over and over and over again, that this is the quarterback and this is the guy and this is legit and this is it, right? And he's your guy. And even if the Dolphins were to force have a pick 6 on this play and somehow end up winning this game, they have played so poorly in this game. They really, I just don't know how you can walk into this offseason with complete confidence that your quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, I don't know how you can be talking about the offseason when, even if we lose this football game, we're sitting at 8-6 or 8-5 with
8-6,
4 games left to play in the
8-5 with an asterisk, because I don't know. I don't see any way the Dolphins win this game against Buffalo next week. I'm sorry.
Okay, but even if you're at 8-6, so what? The season's over at that point? I don't know. I think we're jumping ahead. Now, does it bode well? Sure. No, it doesn't bode well, but to sit here and say, oh, it's all or nothing, they had to win this game, and if they lose next week to Buffalo, the season is lost. That means, oh, look at the fumble!
Wait a minute, you're way ahead of me. Oh, my God, he fumbled the ball! He fumbled the ball. Did the Dolphins get it?
No,
Did the Dolphins get it back? They did not. See, you're way ahead. Your feed is way ahead of mine.
That would have been huge.
It goes back and forth. Sometimes I'm ahead, sometimes I'm behind.
You're ahead here. Yeah, he got it back. But it doesn't matter. Even if listen.
They have to play better, yeah. But did anybody see them playing this poorly? After they played as well as they played the whole season? No. So it's a game. You've got to play better than this, sure. But just because they play poorly in this game doesn't mean that they can't figure it out in a few weeks, especially when you're playing, Green Bay. Obviously, you got to play better against the Patriots and the Jets, and they've got good defenses. But to say that the season is over, to say it's all or nothing, to say it's a must-win game, well, then why are we even watching the last 3 games of the season? Why are we watching the last 4 games? Let's throw the Buffalo game. If this is a must-win game and we lose, why are we even watching next week?
Yeah,
Well, I think here's the deal. It's not over in that. They still have a very good chance to make the playoffs. Clearly,
yeah. I think what good at making the playoffs,
I think what's hurt a lot of fans of Dolphins is this notion that we can make a run in the playoffs. I think that has sort of gone to the wayside for a lot of fans after tonight. We want to make the playoffs. We're going to get blown out in round 1, and great, we made the playoffs. But we thought coming into this final month, we were for real and we had a chance. I think that's where a lot of fans are frustrated.
Here's where the frustration lies. This team has made a lot of significant bets just since, like, the Tyreek Hill trade is what it is, because that's a good move. Obviously, it's a franchise changing player, and it has been worth it, thus far. But when you look at the moves that have been made in season, bringing in Bradley Chubb and what they paid for him, and now signing Eric Fisher, you have made significant moves. Those are the kinds of moves that a franchise makes that believes that they are in the 4 to 8 teams in a given year that have the opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Okay? That's what those kinds of moves are about. And what we're seeing right now, based on the way that this team has performed against the 49ers and against the Chargers today, I'm not saying that the season is over. I'm not saying that this team is not going to make the playoffs, because obviously the ball is still in their court. Even if they lose next week against the Bills, which I'm assuming that they're going to do, they find themselves at 8-6 with 3 games remaining, home games against the Packers and the Jets and a road game against the Patriots, all winnable games, theoretically. Okay. Assuming they win those games, they make the playoffs, right? At 11-6. So the season isn't over in that respect. But if this team finishes the season 11-6 and finishes as a wild card, is this a team that's making a deep run in the playoffs? Is this the team that's winning in the wild card round, winning in the divisional round and going into championship weekend?
If they win 3 games in a row going into the playoffs, you might feel differently about it, especially depending on how they play those games. You have to play the games.
Yes, you have to play the games. But what I'm saying is that when I look at this Dolphins team and I see what has happened to them last week against San Francisco and this week against the Chargers, and how poorly they've played in these big games where the biggest thing was the other team on the other side of the football. It wasn't weather. It wasn't atmosphere. It was the other team, and you're just on the road. Okay. The way this team has played in those games, the way this quarterback has come up small in those games, all I can do is sit back and go, I don't know how this team thinks that they're even close to a Super Bowl. Obviously, things look different if the defense is at full strength, if Byron Jones is here, if Nick Needham is here, if Brandon Jones is here, this team looks a little bit different. But all I know is that looking at this team right now, I don't see a Super Bowl contender, which is what these 3 games were about. Right. This is not a Super Bowl contender. And basically, this team is going to have to go all in to win a Super Bowl next year with this quarterback who we're not sure can win a big game on the road when it all counts when the stakes are at their highest. Tua's your quarterback next year.
How much more all-in can they go? I mean, sign a $100 million wide receiver, sign a $100 million pass rusher. You gave Armstead a ton of money. Who else can you put around him? You want to go out there and maybe get like a guard and get a high-priced guard? Okay. That's not going to answer any of these questions. I mean, what more? How much more does he need?
Well, I think first off, we're getting ahead of ourselves as far as talking about what they need to do next season, because I think they've got time to figure it out this season. As far as next season, what they're banking on, because they're going to lose depth. They're not going to bring in a bunch of draft players. They're a bunch of draft picks. They're going to lose Melvin Ingram. They're going to lose Andrew Van Ginkel. They're going to lose
Mike Gesicki.
They're going to lose Mike Gesicki. They're going to lose 1 or 2 pieces on the defensive line as well.
Wilson probably gone.
But what they are going to get back is Byron Jones and Brandon Jones and Trill Williams and Nick Needham, and they're going to be banking on their secondary just being healthy, and they're going to need guys, continued improvement from guys like Jalen Phillips and maybe Channing Tindall, breaking through. That's what they're banking on, and other than that, it's just the offense gelling together that much more. But this is the team that you're going to see next season.
Yeah.
So they've got to figure it out over these next few weeks, and then we'll worry about next season. But essentially, this is the team that they've gone all in on. So
this is the team that they've gone all in on. Exactly. And I just have no faith that this is the team that's going to win a Super Bowl. As I'm looking at it.
Well, I agree with you. That's why I was against the Bradley Chubb trade to begin with.
If they make the playoffs, even if they win a game this season, fantastic. This team is not winning the Super Bowl. Okay. This team, even if they make it to conference championship this year somehow, which I sincerely doubt is happening. Okay. This team is not winning the Super Bowl. And this is essentially the team that's coming back next year. And that's the problem. Because the goal isn't make the playoffs and win a game in the playoffs. The goal is win the Super Bowl. And I'm sorry if you think I'm flying off the handle.
I don't think you're flying off the handle. This
team is not winning the Super Bowl this year. And as I'm looking at them, they're going to have to figure out a way to get real creative. Chris Gear is going to have to get real creative.
That's the heart of the problem right there.
To find a way to make this team win the Super Bowl next year. And this quarterback and this head coach are going to have to show growth and have to show cojones at crunch time, which they have not done. Okay, I will give Mike McDaniel a pass. He's a rookie head coach. That's fine. This is the third year that this quarterback has been in big games on the road in December and had to come up big and failed to do it. And if this is your franchise quarterback, that is an enormous problem. It is an enormous problem.
I just think Tua's got to play better, clearly. But I don't think this is all on Tua. I think it's
not all
crazy.
On Tua, but it's a huge part of it.
Oh, yeah, but I think that a big part of it is the synergy between Tua and Mike McDaniel. The game plan was poor. And they were over-aggressive in trying to push the ball downfield into the deep Chargers secondary when the Chargers came into this game with their game plan being, we're not going to let the Dolphins beat us deep. So the Dolphins didn't adjust their offense, and so that's a big reason why Tua had such a bad game. Now, Tua missed some throws as well, but the game plan was terrible. This is something that can be figured out. This is not an offense that's devoid of talent. We've seen Tua play at an extremely high level for the vast majority of the season. There's no reason to believe that he can't figure this out with the weapons that they have. They just need to play better.
Here's my question. We can figure it out. But is Mike McDaniel open-minded enough in that, our last head coach was stubborn. It was his way or the highway. I ain't changing for nobody. Mike McDaniel, like we've said all night, mix it up a little, change up. It's not working the offense. Is he open-minded enough to try something new? Or is he just going to go back to, this is what I want to do, this is how we do it, and we're going to try to just keep, even though some other teams have now adjusted and countered us a little bit and how to sort of slow us down, will he be that guy who's just going to be stubborn, or is he going to be open-minded? Because I don't know. That's the thing. Nobody knows. But that's going to tell a lot about him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that we talked about was we're not just going to find out a lot about the players on the team. We're going to find out a lot about Mike McDaniel. Look, this is Mike McDaniel's first foray into crunch time as a head coach, as a play caller. So this is on him to figure out. We've seen that there are enough weapons there. Tua is good enough for this offense to work. Mike McDaniel needs to make adjustments.
That's all there is to it. Mike McDaniel needs to adjust, but man, it's like what I said coming into this game. If there was ever an opportunity for Tua Tagovailoa to prove that his bad games on the road in December and January was not a thing and it was just a fluky small sample size thing, this was the game. Oh, good. Jason Sanders is coming in. Hold on, folks. Jason Sanders is here to kick a 55-yard field goal to get the Dolphins back into the game. Oh, Jason Sanders, he made it. Oh, my God. Jason Sanders for 59 yards. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. Oh, it's time for an onside kick. What a miracle. Oh, the Dolphins are still alive, baby.
So if Jason Sanders goes out and executes a perfect onside kick,
he's got to kick a perfect onside kick.
Is this the Jason Sanders game?
It might be the Jason Sanders game. I'm going to mute you guys because I think you guys are a little bit ahead of me here. But man, this is it. This is the Dolphins have at Buffalo, home against Green Bay. So the Dolphins at 8-5 are going to have to travel to Buffalo and try to get a win. So the Dolphins will be 8-6 on Christmas Day in a huge game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Oh man, the lug nuts are loose, baby. The lug nuts are loose. I'm muting you guys. Here we go for the onside kick. Yeah, I've muted you. I can't hear you. I'm just reacting in the moment because I can't hear you. If this would be just, here we go. Oh, it's loose. It's loose. And they didn't get it. They did not get it. The Chargers got it. When all is said and done, I'm like 99%. They're at the pile. They're in the pile. I'm pretty sure the Chargers guy had it. Chargers feel confident. Dolphins feel confident. Chargers have it. There it is. It's over. The Dolphins lose. Dolphins lose. Dolphins are 8-5. It's all done. Dolphins lose.
Herbert ends at 39-51, 367. 1 touchdown, no picks. Tua, 10 of 28, 145. 1 touchdown. Ran for 28 yards. And that's it. I mean, want to look at some of these team stats here. Time of possession, Chargers had it for 38, Miami for 20, not counting the change. Tua last week, he didn't complete a third down. This week, 3 of 11, Chargers, 9 of 18. Right there's your ball game. Total plays, 78 for the Chargers, 49 for Miami. Total yards, 432 Chargers, 219 Miami. Passing yards, 350 Chargers, 127 Miami. That takes out the sack yardage there. Miami actually outrushed the Chargers, 92-82. On less rushing attempts. They actually averaged 4, but a lot of that was sneaks by Tua. Penalties, even though one was horrendous, 6 for 50, 6 for 40, pretty much the same. Red zone, Miami 0-0. Didn't make to the red zone once. Chargers were only 2 of 6. It's nothing to write home about, but when you win, it doesn't matter. And they each had the same amount of drives, 11 drives each. Chargers ran roughly 30 more plays. That's your ball game right there. That's literally your ball game. Chargers had 16 passing first downs. 16. Does anybody still want to talk about Herbert versus Tua?
Nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about.
There is nothing to talk about. This was, I mean, the Herbert and Tua debate will go on because at the end of the day, there is still a decent chance that the Dolphins make the playoffs and the Chargers don't. But I mean, here's the thing to think about here is that what you have to think about here is that the Chargers, because the Jets lost today, the Dolphins and the Chargers are actually in position to jump the Jets before they jump the Dolphins. So,
and they have a soft schedule. The Chargers. They end with Titans, who didn't look great today, but after that they get in some order. I forget the order: Broncos, Rams, and Colts in some order. So after next week, the Titans, who once again aren't looking like world beaters, they're going to end. I mean, they're not losing to the Broncos. They're not losing to the Rams. Maybe the Colts put up a little bit of a fight. Who knows? But the Chargers now, the tiebreak over Miami, they're sitting pretty here with a soft schedule to end the year and a tiebreaker over Miami. And with Cincinnati also sort of in the mix for the AFC North. If that moves the Ravens into the wild card without Lamar, they have a tiebreaker over Miami. And if you're Miami right now, you got to stay ahead of the Jets. You can kiss the AFC East. It's gone. That's over. They win the AFC East.
To me, that's what this game was about. This game was about can the Dolphins make that game next week be for the division? Now, one, it looks incredibly unlikely that they'll win. And then secondly, even if they were to win, they still wouldn't be in position to win the division. I think the odds of them winning the division are slim and none, but their playoff odds are still very, very good. Even if they lose next week, ultimately what you've got to do is you got to beat the Jets and the Patriots.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it ultimately
Jets and the Patriots, you should be in the playoffs, and hopefully you beat the Packers as well. But if you beat the Jets and the Patriots, then you're probably getting in, even if you only have 10 wins.
But here's what
if you come in second in the AFC East, you're good. Second.
Here's the thing: the Dolphins' offense has been figured out. Okay. Now, it's one thing to figure out a defense, to figure out an offense. It's another thing to be able to stop it. The Bills have the talent to be able to stop the Dolphins' offense. So I'm, call me whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You can come at me. You can at me. You can do whatever you want. The Dolphins are not defeating the Bills in Buffalo next week. No chance. And if I am wrong, I will be delighted. And you can come at me and you can drag my name through the dirt all you want. The Dolphins are an 8-6 football team at this point, as far as I'm concerned. They're not defeating the Bills next week. The fact of the matter is then they've got 3 games left, and they have to win all 3 of those games to make the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. I don't think they need to win all 3.
They might not need to win all 3 even.
They got to beat the Jets and the Patriots, because if they beat the Jets and the Patriots, they're going to finish second in the division.
Exactly. You're second in the division, and there's not enough teams in the AFC because the South is just sending 1 team. The West, at most, is sending 2 after the Raiders choked. If they would have won on Thursday, we'd be in real trouble, actually, but thank God the Raiders choked. And in the North, you're getting Cincy and the Ravens, not getting the Browns or Pittsburgh. Whoever comes in second place in the AFC East will be a wild card team. Right now, after tonight, you could pencil in Chiefs, you could pencil in Chargers, you could pencil in Cincinnati Ravens and the Titans and the Bills. There's 1 spot left between Jets, Miami, New England. That's your playoff picture. There's nobody else alive.
Right, but here's the thing. You can say,
I know it's going to be a 7 seed, and then it'll go round 1 at the Chiefs and lose by 40. But
it's like, exactly. The Dolphins make the playoffs. If the Dolphins make the playoffs, it's the 7 seed or the 6 seed, right?
Yeah,
if they make it as the 7 seed, they're traveling to Kansas City. If they make it as the 6 seed, they're traveling to Cincinnati. They're not beating any one of those teams.
They're not beating those teams.
Either one of those teams. So the question is, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, this is the question. Is it acceptable for you to simply make the playoffs, given everything that has happened since the season started? Given the Bradley Chubb trade, given the signing of Eric Fisher, is it acceptable to you for the Dolphins to simply make the playoffs and lose in the first round?
I don't think that's acceptable before any of those things happen.
Look, this all stems from the owner, from the GM, who I know everyone wants to build a statue for, and I got to leave this soon because we got to start the postgame show. But everyone wants to build a statue for. The reason we lost, here's the deal with Greer. He has had total reign, and this is a larger conversation for another day. He's had total reign, and everyone praises him for everything. The reason, it's tough for me to hear people praise him for hiring Mike McDaniel if he didn't miss so badly on the last head coach, who, by the way, sued the organization, cost you a first-round pick, and got your owner suspended. So it's tough for me to hear Chris Greer praised all the time. And then, because he's so bad at drafting, so bad at it, we have to trade picks now to get vets that we have to pay $100 million for. And because we missed on Austin Jackson, we missed on Liam Eichenberg, who, by the way, we traded a third-round pick to move up 8 spots to get. We missed on Noah, Austin, I don't want to say we missed on a quarterback, although after tonight and after last week, I'm not going to say that was a great pick by any means. We have yes, he's got his Hollands and his Phillips, but Christ, if you give me enough picks, I'll find one or two good ones too. You missed on more than he hits, and everyone likes to say, well, he made this trade for Hill. Well, great. Any moron could have traded for Tyreek Hill. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but he's the reason we're in this mess, okay? He's the reason we have 0 draft picks around one next year because we lost one from the coach he hired who sued us and claimed all this stuff. So the real problem with the organization starts all the way at the top, okay? And it's trickled down. And this year, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. I think after tonight, after last week, it's safe to say that's not going to happen. And this is it. This is who we are. And we're going to go into next year with pretty much the same roster. We're going to lose a couple players. They're not going to be able to afford to go out and sign anybody big because you're going to have to pay someone like Wilkins. I don't know what they do with Tua at this point. I would just let him play out the string. I would not give him any. I wouldn't pick up no fifth-year options. We're going to be pretty much the team you see this year. Going to be the team you see next year. Maybe a few marginal players signed cheap, and try it again next year. But as long as that guy's running this and making calls, and I know a lot of fans love him, and God bless you, you'll love Chris Greer. I don't get it. I've never gotten it, and it's like the scene or what do they say in the movie My Cousin Vinny? When your car is stuck in the mud, one wheel turns and one wheel stays the same. That's the Miami Dolphins organization as long as that guy is calling shots because he has way more misses than hits. And on that note, I'm leaving because I got to open up a room with Tom to do a post-game wrap-up show for the audio version podcast of that. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. You can keep going as long as you want. Tom,
no.
I see you down there. Wrong room. I got to open up a new one.
We're going to we'll wrap it up here with this. We'll put a bow on it for this.
I went out on a rant. Aaron,
thanks,
to you later, buddy.
Thanks for being
guys.
with us. We'll put it this way because this is ultimately what it comes down to. At the end of the day, they're the same old Dolphins. And that's all there is to it.
At this point, they are definitely the same old Dolphins. The audacity of people telling us to change the name of the show. Win a big game in December.
I have been told time in and time and listen. Here's the thing. It brings me no joy. It brings me no happiness to say this. But the fact of the matter is, these are the same old Dolphins. 2 games on the road, right there to be won. And you don't do it. And it's not like you don't do it and you compete in the game and your team plays well and you're right there and the other team scores more points than you. The Dolphins sucked tonight. Okay? That's all there is to it. The Dolphins were bad. Okay? They lost 23-17. Obviously, the defense only gives up 23 points. You could sit here and you could say that's not that bad. Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense had their way with you today. And there was everything you tried to do to stop them, they had a counter for. Okay? Period. End of sentence. You could do nothing on offense. Nothing. Your team did nothing on offense against a team with a maligned defense, a team that was there to be had, and you did nothing with it. And you got run over and you got run out of the building. And I don't want to hear excuses. Oh, you were on the road. You were in California all week. You weren't at your own facilities. That's what life is like in the NFL. Sometimes you're going to go and you're going to spend a week on the West Coast because it's better than going back home in the middle of the week and then flying back out west again. That's part of it. Okay. That's life in the NFL. That's life of being an East Coast team. That's something that you have to do. And the Dolphins came up small. They didn't lose this game because they had to travel, because they were on the West Coast all week. They lost this game because their head coach could not figure out a way to have a plan B on offense. He had his plan A, and the plan A didn't work because the defense figured it out, and the quarterback couldn't deliver, and the receivers couldn't catch passes. But at the end of the day, and I know that there are people out there who are going to say, don't put this on Tua, don't put this on the offense, don't blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, you gave up, your defense only gave up 23 points. In the National Football League, if you give up 23 points and you can't win a game, that's a problem. And remember that 7 of those points were scored because Tyreek Hill picked up a random fumble that happened to squirt out to him when everybody else was on top of a pile, and he ran around and he scored a touchdown that way. Okay? Your team failed to execute their game plan. They were beaten. Their game plan was beaten. Your quarterback was beaten. You lost. You lost because you were not good enough. That's why you lost.
But did they lose because they were out-talented, or did they lose because the other team had a better game plan and executed their game plan better?
Honestly, it was both, looking at it tonight.
I think it was 90%.
It was a lot of B, but it was a little bit of A as well.
And then, I don't think that the Chargers are a more talented team than the Dolphins. With this iteration of the Chargers, with the number of injuries that they have, I believe now this was the game to get, because next week you're going to play a team that is more talented than you. And you're going to go on the road, and that's a tall order, and you're probably going to lose that game. That's why this was an important one to get. But man, like roster to roster, comparing the rosters, the Dolphins and the Packers, the Dolphins and the Jets, the Dolphins and the Patriots. I like the way the Dolphins stack up in those games. I just think right now, my question mark, there's a question mark about Tua, but my bigger question mark is about Mike McDaniel, because this was a bad game plan, and he showed a stubbornness, and there was no adjustment. You said it. You said, okay, the Dolphins' offense has been figured out. Okay, what the Dolphins want to do on offense has been figured out. At some point, that's going to happen. And what makes a good coach and a good team is, okay, they figured out how to take away what we want to do primarily. What's our plan B? If you don't have a plan B, then you're up shit's creek. At that point, you're in trouble. And at that point, you've got an issue with your head coach.
And the fact of the matter is, there was no plan B tonight. And that was a significant problem. And so now the Miami Dolphins find themselves 8-5, going into Buffalo with a game that, I don't care how much of an optimist you are, I don't see the Dolphins winning that game next week. So I think you find yourself at 8-6. And man, you better hope the Patriots lose next week, and that the Chargers start to drop some games along the way as well, because now that fact that you lost to the Chargers, that's huge.
It doesn't matter as long as you beat both the Jets and the Patriots.
Yeah, you got to beat both the Jets and the Patriots. But you got to go to Foxborough.
Both the Jets and the Patriots, you are in. Bottom of, period. Doesn't even matter what they do in the other games. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. You beat the Jets and the Patriots and you're in. You win that. You find a way to win next week, and then that, opens up the door for a whole other, a whole bunch of other opportunities. But I
don't care. Fine. Lose next week to the Bills. Lose to the Packers, beat the Patriots, beat the Jets, you make the playoffs. Fine. Congratulations. Do you feel this team is winning a wild card game on the road in January?
If they're the 7 seed and they're playing,
their only hope is that they get matched up somehow with Tennessee. Right?
Do I like the matchup against Cincinnati? No, but I don't think that Cincinnati is like some unbeatable team. It's not even a foregone conclusion that Cincinnati's going to win that division. Baltimore
Cincinnati's winning that division.
What?
Cincinnati's winning that division. Cincinnati's going to win that division. I mean, literally.
And the Dolphins were going to beat the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so. I mean, like, we don't know.
There's a lot of football left to be played. There are 4 games left in this regular season, and the Miami Dolphins, the bottom line is they have to beat the Patriots. They have to beat the Jets. They have to win those 2. If they win those 2, they finish with 11, and they finish with a record of at least 10-7, right? Because they've got that game against the Packers as well.
Right.
I mean, you lose that game at home to the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really difficult because then you have to win both of those games. Right now, they're in a situation where they don't necessarily have to win both of those games, but if they win just those 2 games, they'll make the playoffs. But if you lose next week and you lose to Green Bay, then you have to win both of those games just to sneak into the playoffs. So you don't want to be in that position. Obviously, next week does not look good. I do believe that there are adjustments that the Dolphins can make to put themselves in a position to where next week could be a surprise, but I'm not picking it.
No.
But after that, like I said, like I've been saying for weeks, before they even went into San Francisco, before they started this gauntlet, I said the Dolphins, by putting themselves at 8-3, put themselves in a position where even in the worst case scenario, if they lost all 3 of these games, they would still be in a good position to make the playoffs, which I still believe. And granted, being in a good position to make the playoffs might not necessarily mean anything to you because at the end of the day, the goals are raised higher. The bar has been set higher that this team needs to be competing for a championship, and they need to win at least 1 game in the playoffs for, I think, for most people to be satisfied with the result of this season. And if they end up as like the 7 seed and they have to go to like Buffalo or Kansas City in the first round, yeah, that's probably a recipe for disaster. And that's going to be, you know, an unsuccessful season. But there's a lot of football to be played.
Well, here's what I'll say. As of right now, the Dolphins still have a pretty nice chance to make the playoffs. According to the New York Times, the upshot, Dolphins currently have a 69% chance to make the playoffs. Nice.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you see it every year. I mean, a couple years ago when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, they were scuffling. They were like a 500 team, and they figured things out like the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. The Dolphins have enough talent that if they can figure it out, can get hot, and they can make a run at this thing. Losing this game is huge because it means that even if you win, even if you were to pull off a miraculous victory next week, you probably aren't winning the division. Whereas if you had won this game, next week would be for a chance to really take control of the division. And so now you put yourself in a position where if this team is going to make a run, they're absolutely going to have to win a road playoff game.
Yeah.
And if your goal is to get at the very least to the AFC Championship, they're going to have to win at least 2 road playoff games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the fact of the matter is the division is gone. No chance. I mean, here's the only chance at winning the division is you somehow miraculously win at Buffalo next week, and then the Bills lose and then you win out. You know, basically your only chance at the division is you win out and Buffalo
loses
to Cincinnati. Right.
Yeah. Which could if the Dolphins look, obviously of all the games that they have left in the season, the one that you would say they're not going to win is the one next week. So by that same logic, if they were to come out and win next week, no matter how they did it, you would pick them to win the rest of the games. They would be favored in the rest of the games. And Buffalo could easily lose a game to Cincinnati, and then you're talking about a division winner. And then you just look silly for saying that a game against the Chargers prior to a 4-game winning streak was a must-win game. This was a big game. it was not a must-win game. This was a big loss, and it is tough to come back from, but this was not a must-win game. But this raises the stakes on every game the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, the thing is, it's margin of error now. It's margin of error. We always knew that this was going to be the gauntlet. Oh, we got Mike McDaniel in the post game. I want to turn up this up and hear what he has to say.
This is hard to take. There's a lot of investment.
He says
it's good enough. I thought the defense played well enough for us to win. There's stuff we can clean up, for sure.
I'm listening to Mike McDaniel. He says the defense, he says there's stuff to clean up. He says he thought they did enough for us to win. There's stuff to clean up, but wasn't good enough.
Well, I'll let you take this the rest of the way. I'm going to head out. This was a tough one to lose. This is going to be a tough one to swallow, and it's going to be a really rough week because you're going to have a lot of people talking about how the Dolphins are frauds and about how Tua is a fraud and about how Mike McDaniel is a fraud and how the Dolphins have been figured out and how they're the same old Dolphins. So if you don't like that talk, this is going to be a really rough week for you. And with the game against Buffalo sitting there 6 days away, I don't know that there's a lot of relief coming.
Yeah.
But this was not a must-win game. This was a big loss, and they've got some things to figure out. This team's not going to get appreciably better or appreciably worse for the next 4 games or for the next season, for that matter. So This is the team. They've got to figure it out.
They've got to figure it out. Brian, thank you for that. I'm going to wrap it up here so that we can sign off here together. So that's all there is to it. The Dolphins have been disappointing in these last 2 weeks. They've fallen well short of expectations. If you thought that this team was a legit contender, this isn't the end of the road. There are still ways to go. There are still 4 games left, and the Dolphins are still in very good position because of what they've done thus far. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to winning big road games, when it's all on the line, the Dolphins have still shown an inability to do it. Tua Tagovailoa has shown an inability to do it. And they've still got 2 more big road games this season, and they have to win at least one of them. If they do not win at least one of those 2 road games, those are at Buffalo and at New England. If they lose both of those games, this team is in very big danger of missing the playoffs. And if this team misses the playoffs, it is an understatement to say that this season would be a disappointment. If they miss the playoffs, saying that this is a season is a disappointment is an understatement. So, long way to go. A lot of time to correct course. But as of right now, if you're a Miami Dolphin fan, it's not looking good. And if you thought that maybe these would not for once be the same old Dolphins, right now, I've got some bad news for you. Right now, they very much look exactly like the same old Dolphins. Thank you for joining us for the live Dolphins Talk Watch Along. Sponsored by BetUS, sponsored by Manscaped, sponsored by True Classic. Go to trueclassic.com, use the promo code Dolphins Talk, save 25% off. Go to manscaped.com, use the promo code Dolphins Talk, save 20% off. And we will be back with an episode of the Same Old Dolphins Show, either probably tomorrow. And Mike and Tom are coming up live right now with the post-game wrap-up show to give you some space to vent. Make sure you're following us at Amplified to Rock, at Aaron the Brain, at Dolphins Talk, at Sam Old Dolphins. We look forward to hearing from all of you as this week goes on. And another disappointing game, a very disappointing 0-2 road trip out west. Come home, regroup, and Saturday night you're on national TV again with an opportunity to try to clean this up a little bit as you go into Buffalo. And it's a game the Dolphins really, really need. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening. If you're not going to be part of us in the next time, if we don't see you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to you again soon. And as always, go Dolphins. Bye-bye, everybody.